What's going on? What's going on? You see the title? I just get straight into it, man.
I mean everything. He called me early. It's like, yo, when we spar, I'm gonna come to the gym. I'm gonna start at 4 o'clock. I really didn't think he was gonna pull up, but he pulled up. It means everything. His advice and
The most skillful fighter at 135 will be hands down Shakur Stevens.
I agree with that. What do you guys think this means for Mayweather? He's definitely getting paid for doing Shakur Stevenson's camp, but all this stuff with him taking out crazy cash advances from Manny Pacquiao's fight, and apparently the other two fights as well, or exhibitions he's calling now. Apparently he's getting sued. We're gonna do some research on that this stream too. Yo, why does every boxer want to train at the UFC Performance Institute now? Like, why is every one of them doing that? I'm trying to figure out. Why is every one of them trying to be like this?
I had went to the gym with him off camera. Nobody seen it. And I was kind of like begging him to spar me. And I remember I had a hurt hand at the time. I'm like, man, I don't care. I'll use one hand in there. I just want to get in there with Floyd. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I mean, he was older at the time, so he wasn't the same Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, I've been in the gym with him before. He correct certain things. Floyd even called me, showed me some new tricks. So at the end of the day, he still, show a lot of love to me.
Nah, it was amazing working with Floyd. It was amazing to see his reflexes still sharp. I was testing his conditioning while we was on the mix. I kept like trying to step to him and like work on the inside and just test his conditioning to see like where he at right now. But no, it was amazing. He was teaching me a lot of stuff that I ain't been taught before.
Floyd Mayweather just made a surprise visit to personally train Shakur Stevenson, sending a clear warning shot to Gervontay Tank Davis ahead of their mega fight.
He's a master salesman. He can salesman to the beat.
A hell of a blessing to have Bud, Floyd, all these guys backing me, and I appreciate them.
And now, Floyd Mayweather Jr., working closely alongside Shakur, adds a whole new layer to this matchup and his skills. Shakur explains why he didn't ask Mayweather for shoulder roll secrets, stating that, as a southpaw, the angles and application of the technique differ from Mayweather's orthodox stance.
That's that's actually very true. Me being a southpaw myself, also me not being able to know how to officially shoulder roll. I could Philly shell, but I don't typically use it much in kickboxing. I don't know. I feel like a shoulder roll could still be useful. I just wish I learned that. But if you're talking about I don't have to,
I ain't really asking for too many secrets to the shoulder roll because I'm a southpaw and he like an orthodox. And I don't know. I just feel like my shoulder roll and his shoulder roll are different because it come from like a different angle. So like with him, he's orthodox. He's fighting 9 times out of 10. He's gonna fight another orthodox fighter. Mm-hmm. Whereas I'm a southpaw. I'm really fighting orthodox fighter. It just come from like a different angle, I guess. But I ain't really asking too much about that. But a lot of stuff that he did show me, I appreciate it, and I'm definitely gonna learn some more and work with him again.
That's what's up. Whoa, wait a minute. Again?
While Shakur was already training with Terrence Crawford, with Crawford's elite mindset and killer instinct in camp, he is sharpening both his skills and mentality for the biggest fights ahead.
The people that know it all are the people that don't go very far. You gotta always be a student. You gotta always be able to learn and pick up things from this person, that person.
He's a work of art. Sky is the limit with Shakur. He got the boxing skills and the ability to, do whatever he wants in the ring. And it's going to be very hard to beat Shakur.
However, David Benavidez seriously wants this fight and is pushing both of them for a true elite showdown. He believes Tank should be fighting other champions to prove he's the best against top-level competition.
I just want to see Tank fight Shakur Stevens, Devin Haney. Tank, as a world champion first, he should give us those fights. And I don't want to sound like I'm hating or nothing, but I'd rather see Tank with Shakur Stevens. In my opinion, if Tank fights Shakur Stevens, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia too again, he beats all them guys. Imagine how much bigger the fight is with Jake Paul.
Meanwhile, Mike Tyson
That's a strong point.
dismissed inexperienced fighters with
And it's not that strong anymore after we see Jake Paul get his chin checked.
padded records, saying they aren't qualified to share the ring with true champions. He called Tank Davis a force of nature, a fighter with real fight-ending power.
He's a great fighter. He's a great fighter. Especially when he's serious about it. I don't know if he's serious as he used to be. When he was serious, he was a hell of a fighter. Nobody came close. He's the only one I gave a chance against. Shakur and that guy, Keyshawn Davis, they're scary fighters too because they're sophisticated. The other guy's sophisticated than me.
Shakur revealed he currently has no fight scheduled. He's watching potential opponents and listening closely to what fans want. He made it clear he'll fight whoever fans choose as the best opposition, even suggesting they create a wish list poll and he'll face the winner.
Steven Espinoza said Shakur turned down a one-fight deal to fight you because he wanted a multi-fight deal. What's your thoughts on that? He's not worth that. He's not worth no multi-fight deal. He's not even worth it. Come on. Anybody got to fight somewhere else and prove himself and then you know how they got UFC and the underground shit? You got to fight some underground shit and get that.
Shakur was impressed by Floyd Mayweather's sharp reflexes and conditioning during their sparring sessions. Mayweather reminded Shakur of techniques he used when he was younger, reinforcing his existing knowledge.
There was a lot of little things he was saying. It'd be the little small stuff that he was saying that kind of stuck with me. When I got back to where I'm at now, I went back in the gym and I just worked on a lot of stuff he was saying. I can't put it out there. I don't want to tell nobody because they're gonna steal my game.
I was gonna ask if you just had just a little nugget of what he might have told you, but I figured you wouldn't give us anything. But
but the thing with him was it's our chemistry was kind of good. It was weird, because I'm not no big person that do mix. I ain't never really been a mix kind of person, but I'm just now starting to like mix. But when I started doing mix with him, it was the chemistry was there. My rhythm and his rhythm seemed kind of
Shakur Stevenson is hyping a potential fight with Gervontay Davis, calling it the ultimate test of skill. He hints it could happen soon across multiple weight classes.
If there's a gun in your head, when are we gonna see the Shakur Tanks, the Shakur Devin, the Devin Tanks?
There's only one fight that is really
the one
that, if we were gonna be for real,
keep it on.
What's the fight?
My opinion, because we talking about skill and boxing, all around boxing, right?
Yeah.
Because we ain't talking about somebody that just got a good jab or what.
Yeah.
We talking about all around.
Do everything.
Yeah, boxing.
Yeah.
Me and Tank the biggest fight.
That's the one.
It's the biggest fight in the world.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the biggest boxing fight in the world when it happens.
Y'all, what you think? 147, 140?
Nah, hell no.
135?
35, 40, I don't know. I could see it happening not too far in the future.
Really?
Yeah, I think Tank will sign that contract.
Dang.
And I'm going to sign a contract too, so it's
You're gonna get it on.
Yeah.
While everyone is seeing Tank Davis as a potential fighter against Shakur, Devin Haney is the one that Shakur can fight, but there are lots of difficulties Shakur pointed out.
Now that he's at 147, that's 2 weight classes above you. Do you ever feel like that's realistic now, or is that that ship is sailed, it's over?
Nah, that shit seems about over right now. If he at 47, I'm natural 35. I'm comfortable at 35. If we was to fight, it could be at 40, but I will fight at 40, but I ain't fighting at no damn 47. So.
Yeah, because he said once I go to 47, it's over for 40. That's it. So it's over. That ship sailed.
Yeah, that shit, it must have sold if he ain't come back down to 40.
Devin Haney suggested the fight with Shakur Stevenson fell apart even though he really wanted to fight him because Shakur kept moving the goalposts during negotiations, wanting more and more, despite Haney being the one with all the hardware.
I mean, the world seen what happened. We sent him an offer. He countered the offer with 50-50, and it was just like, how could you go for him? First we tried to give him a straight offer. We tried to give him a flat fee. He said he didn't want that. So he said he wanted a percentage. So we offered him the 25%. He said he didn't want 25%. Then he said he wanted 50-50. But it's like, they said I was a bitch, right? But that's the same thing that he just offered Frank Martin. How?
Bill Haney, Debo Devin's trainer and father, just hinted that a potential Shakur Stevenson versus Devin Haney matchup wouldn't be as competitive as people think, suggesting Devin's overall game would make light work of Shakur.
If it's me with Teofimo, it's easy. Based on what I see, what Devin can do to Shakur, easy. Like when I saw you and I told you Brian Norman was going to be easy, you said easy? I said easy, right? Was it easy? Didn't I say it was going to be easy? Easy. But I'm saying, I said Shakur is easy work for Devin.
Further, Bill challenges the idea that Shakur Stevenson
That is definitely an exaggeration. Shakur
has ever faced anyone close to Devin Haney's level. He questions the true strength of Shakur's resume, suggesting it's been carefully built rather than battle-tested. In Bill's view, fighting solid names is one thing, but stepping in with an elite, proven champion like Devin is a completely different story.
You ain't seen him fight nobody, Dre. Come on, big homie. Tell me who he fought that you would say that's a level that we should even look at that would be anything remotely to what the skills that Devin.
Do y'all respect Devin Haney's dad as a coach? I mean, no, I kind of do, but he kind of a little too arrogant for me.
You keep comparing him to Dad.
No, I'm saying this, but tell me who Shakur done fought.
Shakur got a good resume, for sure.
Like who?
Beyond good resume, starting with an Olympic silver medal that nobody ever brings up.
You said to me.
And not only a good resume, we talking about Teo.
Hold
on, just tell me the walk down part. When I say I ain't never seen Shakur Stevenson walk down and pump and physically unable to get somebody off of him or box somebody.
If you go look at the sparring, if you go look at the sparring with him and Dev was walking him down.
Shakur says he can absolutely fight Devin Haney, showing no hesitation about stepping up to that level of competition. He's confident his defensive genius and ring IQ would solve whatever Devin brings.
You versus Dev, is that back on the table as far as us as fans should be talking about this, or is that y'all think it's just doing some?
Nah, I mean, that's cool. Like I told you, I'll fight him. I'll move up to 40 and fight him. Like there's no changing like what I think about that fight. I think that'll be a big fight too in the sport of boxing. And it'll like be a long time coming just because of the history of everything that went on. But I'm not going to 47. So that's why I really asked him what weight.
Now, Devin Haney has sparked new controversy by suggesting that Gervontay Davis isn't fully committed to testing himself against boxing's top competition. Haney acknowledged Davis's
Gervontay Davis ain't committed to anything. You see how he acting outside the ring?
Star power and knockout ability, but emphasized that true greatness comes from consistently taking on elite-level opponents.
Gervontay Davis, I think that he's a really good fighter. I think that he's an underachiever. I think that he has so much talent. I think that his outside issues is stopping him from reaching his full potential, and him just not wanting to test himself against the best fighters in the world. There's a guy like Pitbull Cruz it's just a fight that no one asked for.
Moreover, boxing coach Greg Hackett broke down Shakur's approach, explaining that Shakur never forces unnecessary action when he's already winning. Hackett said Shakur was absolutely trying to dominate and hurt his opponent, but he wasn't shifting into 5th or 6th gear to chase a finish. Instead, Shakur stayed disciplined, countering everything with sharp, precise shots and fighting smart instead of recklessly.
No.
That's really Shakur's main skill.
I think Shakur has a thing about him where he like to be really sharp. He like to be so on point that he not gonna force himself to do anything. You know what I mean? If I'm winning the fight, then I'm winning the fight, and that's all I gotta do. I don't think it's.
So you don't think that at any point in time, like he was trying to get Artem out of there?
No. He was kicking. He was trying to kick his ass. But what I'm saying is, he not taking it into the 5th and 6th gear where he really could get this guy out. You see how Keyshawn was trying to get that motherfucker out of there. You know what I mean?
Let's go back to Shakur. With Mayweather's defensive genius and ring IQ, his influence could sharpen Shakur's already elite skill set even further, especially when it comes to timing, distance control, and making elite punchers miss by inches. Known more for his elite defense and ring IQ, Shakur has reportedly pushed himself beyond his usual style, focusing heavily on strength, explosiveness, and finishing power. Sparring partners have described sessions where he's not just outclassing opponents technically, but overwhelming them physically, showing a sharper, more aggressive edge. Shift in emphasis towards knockout power. Stevenson's team has incorporated brutal conditioning routines, high-altitude runs, resistance drills, and extended sparring rounds designed to simulate late fight fatigue. Reports suggest he's been drilling body shots and combination punching relentlessly, aiming to develop the kind of fight-ending power needed to keep someone like Tank honest. While Stevenson has always been precise, this version of him looks built to hurt, not just outpoint.
I don't know if we could just say Shakur Stevenson's going to be hurting people just yet. That's not his thing. He's the disciplined guy. Not sure how I'm feeling about the hands down. I know he's decent with that, and he likes to put the shoulder up a little bit, not necessarily roll it with his defense, but I wouldn't box that way. To me, in the kickboxing world, MMA world, this is not real pad work. I feel like it's just a waste of time. Like, I feel like you could be doing so many better workouts that'll better your game than what Shakur's doing right here. But I guess it's different in boxing.
More than just skill, it requires respect in the ring, and Stevenson seems determined to earn that respect early. By blending his natural defensive brilliance with newfound physicality, he's crafting a more complete and dangerous.
Notice as soon as he was holding pads with Terrence Crawford, it was more intentional and more fight-like, because Terrence actually knows what it's like to be in a fight, so he knows exactly how to hold the pads. That other dude, what's his credentials? What's he really doing? Anybody could do that.
Identity.
Tell me who y'all would think between Tank and Shakur, man. Let me know, because I genuinely don't know. My mind is telling me Tank, but my heart's telling me Shakur, because you know I'm from North. Well, not really. I'm from Jersey. I was born in North.
If this transformation carries into Fight Night, fans could see a version of Stevenson that doesn't just neutralize threats, but actively breaks them down, a potentially explosive evolution ahead of a showdown with one of boxing's most feared power hitters.
It's a workout right here. So far, all the things outside of Floyd Mayweather's work with Shakur, Tank's camp is looking better. Not camp, but his workouts.
Gervontay Davis has...
Yo, Tim Desert Storm Bradley, you already know the damn rest. Yeah, y'all ain't heard yet? Hey, the man, the legend, Keyshawn Davis, who, the one running around talking about, don't nobody want to fight me. so I can't get a fight. You know, the one that's trying to bully Abdullah Mason, the young Abdullah Phenom, Abdullah Mason, trying to bully him, you know.
I definitely is bullying what he doing.
Oh, he finna get ready to fight. You know who's about to fight? He about to fight Nair Albright. Oh my gosh, man. Keyshawn, we going backwards, bro. What we doing? We going backwards? We moving forward or we going backwards? Bro, well, we know you don't care about the belts, but damn, you gonna go way, way back. 2023. Yeah, you already didn't you beat this dude. I know it was a majority decision. However, you beat him when you was high. When you was high. And you beat him. Well, oh, it must be because of that altercation that happened about a year or some odd ago. Yeah, when you were supposed to, you know, in Virginia, because this fight gonna be in Virginia, people. It's gonna be in Virginia. Yeah. Let's try it again. Keyshawn Davis coming to Virginia again. Okay. And you didn't make weight. Purposely didn't make weight. Yeah. Oh hell yeah. You
How we know it's on purpose?
4 pounds. You purposely didn't make weight. Yeah. Your whole team was like, yo, we didn't know this mug was not that 4 pounds away. Hell no. They weren't even concerned with your weight. Right? So you didn't fight De Los Santos. Your brother fought Kelvin fought against this man, Nair Albright. He got them paws put on him. Then you come allegedly in the locker room and you put some lumps upside of Albright's head. Now y'all about to fight again. Because of that, y'all about to fight again. You just came off one of the biggest cars of the year. You just came off of stopping a dude that ain't been stopped. Right? And Jermaine Ortiz. Now you finna go back and fight Albright? Make that make sense. Albright just fought against Frank Martin, a guy Frank Martin been calling you out, bro. He's been calling you out. Had a draw with Frank Martin. Shit, it would have been better if you would have fought Frank Martin. It would have been way better. People would have been more interested in that. But now it's all.
I ain't gonna lie, I see the angle. I can see the people being more interested in the outside drama as opposed to the boxing skill against boxing skill, but I would like to see both fights, really.
Albright, the singer, Genuine's little brother. You about to go revisit that? Come on, man. Come on, bruh. Come on, man. You moving like you big, like you doing big things, bruh, but damn, big things ain't popping. What's going on? Shit, the boxing world seeming stale as hell without no damn Turkey Al-Sheikh having a fight every other month. Oh my gosh, man. This is crazy. This straight fugazi right here. This is trash. Straight up. We don't care about you fighting no damn Albright. You beat him when you was on weed. You had weed all in your system. What we doing? TR, what we doing? TR, what we doing? Is it because maybe Albright was cheap? So you can pay him less money, you know, because he got multiple gigs. Albright is a renaissance man. That motherfucker, he can sing. He probably an auto mechanic. He probably a hairstylist. You know he can fight. Yeah, he can fight. He gonna make it interesting, but this shit don't. Come on, DAZN, what we doing, DAZN? Right? What we doing? We got Xander Zayas. He got him facing in boots. What's the problem, DAZN? You got Xander Zayas facing boots. You know, this man is facing boots. Xander Zayas, 2-time world champion. You know, unified champion facing Boots Ennis, you know, who was a former unified world champion at 147 pounds. Albright ain't done nothing close to that. You know, at least Keyshawn held a strap for a minute. maybe a second. But damn, why? Why? This dude just smashed Jermaine Ortiz. Makes no damn sense. We going backwards, people. Come on. What we doing, TR? Straight up. Man, everybody in the same pot, man.
I don't think you can blame Top Rank to a certain point because a lot of these boxers don't want to fight each other. Like you can't make them fight each other if they don't want to.
Everybody. It don't matter who the hell you is. Everybody in the same pot over here. Yeah. Yeah, we keeping it a straight buck 150 over here. From now on, we moving straight forward. Everybody in the same damn pot. Period. So it is what it is. So all I'm saying is I'm not excited about this shit. Yeah, May 16th is supposed to go down. Keyshawn Davis, Nair Albright. 2. They going at it again. Yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Am I tripping? Am I tripping or what is?
I think he is tripping a little bit because I think it still makes for an interesting fight because of all the outside drama between.
Should I be happy about this? Anyways, Tim Desert Storm Bradley, you already know the damn rest.
Now we got Terrence Crawford's take on Shakur Stevenson.
Tank would never even think about hesitating to come up to 154. Yes, if he get to pick his opponent.
One of boxing's most talked about potential super fights just got even more intriguing as Terrence Crawford gives his perspective, explaining why Shakur Stevenson could have a slight advantage over Gervontay Davis. And while that breakdown is turning heads, Mike Tyson also jumped in with his own take, speaking as a true fan and confidently siding with Davis, praising his explosive knockout power.
No, how I feel about them earrings, I ain't gonna lie to you.
And dangerous instincts, making it clear that when Davis lands clean, he has the ability to end a fight in an instant and completely shift the outcome with one shot.
Mike, who will win out of Shakur and Gervontay?
Gervontay Davis?
Yeah.
I like to go with Tank. You know, everyone's gonna go with Tank. You know, it would be a very.
I don't know about everyone going with Tank. Shakur is very solid with the skills in his defense, but I definitely understand why people going with Tank Davis. Honestly, maybe I'm just a Shakur fan.
Interesting fight. Shakur takes a good shot though. He's a specialist. That's why some fights that he doesn't look good in because he's so superior. He is boring watching sometimes. But he's a specialist. He knows what he's doing. He's hard to beat. To bring out the best in Shakur, you got to pressure him like Tank. Tank will bring out the best of him, and we'll see a great fight. Tank is just a monster right now.
As the conversation shifted toward breaking down the styles between Shakur Stevenson and Gervontay Davis, Terrence Crawford made it clear he sees Stevenson having the upper hand, openly admitting that he's not a fan of Davis, not because of any single moment, but due to what he views as Davis's overall behavior, going on to describe him as a fighter who carries himself with excessive arrogance and comes off as disrespectful in and around the sport.
I just really don't like that dude.
Why though?
Cause I just don't like him. Like I really don't like him. I don't like.
Not your cup of tea. That's just not.
Yeah, I don't like nothing about him. You know, I don't like nothing about him. I just felt like he just one of these little arrogant little dudes that's using what he got to shoot.
Terrence Crawford went on to explain.
I was very vague though. He wasn't getting specific at all, and I could see why Gervontay got mad at that. It's like he just seemed like a hater out of nowhere.
In that Shakur Stevenson has the kind of sharp technique and ring control that could cancel out the power of Gervontay Davis, while still giving Davis full credit for his ability and reputation in the sport. He stressed that Stevenson operates on a completely different level, adding that the criticism Stevenson receives for being too cautious or not hitting hard is the same kind of talk once aimed at defensive masters like Floyd Mayweather Jr., and made it clear that Stevenson's disciplined approach and unique style make him a very difficult puzzle for any opponent to solve inside the ring.
Like I said, I respect Tank. Like boxing, he's one of the ones.
Yeah.
We're gonna take his personality and personal things out of it.
Well,
boxing, he's definitely talented. You know what I mean? And he's definitely got that it. And yeah, he's definitely respected in boxing. But Shakur is a different fighter. You know, Shakur is different. You know, people may call him boring. People may say he can't punch. But they said the same thing about Floyd. Because they defensive fighters.
Yeah.
Gervonta Davis didn't hold back when asked why he chose his recent fight instead of chasing big-name clashes with opponents like Shakur Stevenson, brushing off the criticism and making it clear that public opinion doesn't sway him, pointing out how quickly fans switch sides and expectations, and saying people should focus more on enjoying the sport rather than questioning fighters' decisions or personal lives, while stressing that he trusts his own judgment and remains fully confident in the direction he's taking with his career.
Gervontay, a lot of boxing fans aren't happy with the fact you've taken this fight rather than the road rematch, fights with the likes of Shakur, Devin Haney, Teofimo, etc. What do you make of that reaction? And can we still expect to see those fights?
Why should I care what they think? When y'all switch every, somebody can have a bad day and y'all switching on who y'all favorite fighter is or who this person is supposed to fight. Like y'all need to sit back and be fans and just enjoy the sport. Like y'all even talk about people's personal lives. Like why when it come to that?
As the questions kept coming about potential future fights, Gervonta Davis pushed back against the expectations being placed on him, pointing out that the very fighters people keep bringing up have already fought recently and come out on top, yet their performances aren't judged with the same level of scrutiny as his, making it clear he feels there's a double standard in how his fights are evaluated compared to others in the division.
We still expect to see any of those fights in the future, though.
And y'all keep talking about fighting somebody. Didn't he just have a fight? And what happened? What happened?
Why is he getting so mad? It's a legitimate question, bro. You better chill out. You only like 140, whatever you walk around and hang out.
He won, right? But how he look in it? Exactly. But y'all say some different when it's me, right? Because y'all want me to lose. When y'all see people in that limelight too long, they want to take that they want somebody else to come.
As the focus turned to the growing tension between the two, Shakur Stevenson opened up about how things changed over time, revealing that he and Gervonta Davis actually shared a solid relationship in the past, built on mutual respect going all the way back to their amateur days, something that was clearly reflected in their earlier interactions before the rivalry began to take shape.
Black on the planet.
That's a fact.
Wants to
see that.
Me versus Tank.
Yeah,
so it's like with him, with his pride and like his ego and shit, it's hard for him to even, want to get on the phone with me, want to reach out.
According to Shakur Stevenson, everything shifted the moment he started being seen as a real danger in the division, explaining that the respect and support he once felt slowly turned into distance and tension, adding that outside talk and rumors only made things worse, but he believes the true turning point came when the spotlight and constant comparisons began centering on him, ultimately changing how Gervonta Davis reacted and responded to the situation.
That nigga just got too much ego, I guess.
But where did the beef come from? It's like, it seemed like he really don't like you.
Nah, he don't.
But why? Like, what did y'all do? Because y'all was cool at one point, right? We see videos of y'all as amateurs. It was cool. Y'all knew each other. Like, where did it start that y'all don't like each other?
Nah, that shit started from him. Like everybody really think like, cause people run with like false narratives, so they gonna say they versions of like the story. But truthfully, like when I first was around in it, he was showing a lot of love, and then once I became a threat, is where like everything switched.
Amid ongoing speculation about his next steps, Gervonta Davis tackled questions about retirement rumors and the criticism over potential opponents, challenging why Shakur Stevenson's name kept coming up, arguing that Stevenson hasn't achieved enough yet to warrant all the attention, while pointing out that other younger fighters in the sport currently look more impressive and deserving of the spotlight.
Other fighters like who? You better give me names.
What have Shakur done? What have he done in the sport? He haven't done nothing.
Olympic silver medal, and it should have been a gold.
The young one is looking more better than him.
Who that?
The Keyshawn. Keyshawn looking way more better than this. I keep screaming his name. He haven't done nothing. Keyshawn haven't even done nothing.
What do you say to those who
I
might
keep
be
saying his name
afraid?
for.
So what do you say to those who might be saying that, Tank is afraid of Shakur?
Afraid of what? Afraid of what? Us fighters, if we're afraid of somebody, it got to be somebody hitting us and hurting us.
Gervonta Davis spoke on his 135.
That was a valid point, though. If you're afraid in a fight, it's going to be because somebody could hurt you. But you could also be afraid to just lose in general, depending on what kind of competitor you are.
Surrounding them, pointing out that Stevenson had only recently moved up in weight and hadn't yet shown true power at the lower divisions, emphasizing that a fighter's ability to absorb punches is just as crucial as skill, framing both power and durability as essential factors when evaluating who truly stands out in the ring.
Some of your 135 contemporaries have a lot to say these days. Shakur Stevenson, of course, he's now 135 after all that stuff, and then Devin Haney.
Right. So why people even talk like he the best at? He didn't even fight at 135 yet.
Right.
He didn't even have power at 126, 30, or none of that.
He is good.
Okay. How can you? All that's just okay. How can you stop people that can actually hit? No matter all that boxing, you're going to get hit. What you going to do when you get hit?
Adding his perspective, former American champion Roy Jones Jr. stated that Shakur Stevenson currently holds an edge over Gervontay Davis because of his discipline, noting how Stevenson displayed focus and calm throughout his bout with Teofimo Lopez and maintained a controlled lifestyle outside the ring, which strengthened his in-ring performance, whereas Davis has shown occasional lapses in discipline both during training and in fights, leading Jones to conclude that Stevenson's consistent self-control makes him the more dependable and effective fighter at this stage of their careers.
Who wins that fight right now, in your opinion?
Right now, Shakur wins it because of his discipline. Because he showed against Teofimo that he stayed very disciplined all night. And he's the type of guy, he don't really do a lot of crazy stuff in his life normally. So it's like discipline is a thing that is not only exercised inside the ring, it's exercised also outside the ring. And as we see, sometimes Gervontay has problems with discipline. But we have never seen Shakur have problems with discipline. We seem to be more disciplined at the right time.
Meanwhile, Roy Jones Jr. lauded Shakur Stevenson following his recent bout with Teofimo Lopez, suggesting it could mark a defining moment on the path to becoming an all-time great, highlighting Stevenson's composure as a four-division champion, his tactical mastery, and his ability to control a formidable opponent, while also giving credit to Lopez for taking on such a high-risk fight, noting that it demonstrated both bravery and professionalism.
I think Shakur definitely showed that he's going to be on that list very soon. Four-division champion already. Still looking to get more. Show that he has all the tools, all the tactics. Stay cool under pressure. Proved a lot of things. Took a good fighter and took him to school. And that's what great fighters do. So it's like, you got to give him his props. Excellent outcome. Had shots out to Teofimo too for taking a fight at that risk at that time in his career, because that was a high risk for Teofimo. He knew what he was getting himself into, I think.
I like the video if you found value in the stream so far for me.
But for him to take that steal.
Roy Jones Jr. shared that he would back Shakur Stevenson in a potential showdown with Gervontay Davis, citing Stevenson's discipline in training and calmness under pressure as giving him a steady advantage and making his performances consistently reliable, especially when watching him handle major fights with precision. At the same time, Jones emphasized that Davis should not be underestimated, noting that if he fully focused both in and out of the ring, his raw talent, explosive power, and unpredictability could make him a dangerous challenge for anyone, including Stevenson.
With the fight being like it is right now, I would lean towards Shakur because of his discipline, but don't get it twisted. If somebody could be, Tank Davis would be that person because of his intention. When Tank is disciplined and got his mind on right, Tank is a problem for anybody. Tank can fight better than most people think he can. It's just that sometimes his outside antics get the better of him, and it makes people think less of him, but don't underestimate Tank Davis. Tank is motivated and ready to fight. Tank is a problem for anybody.
Terrence Crawford broke it down almost like a live fight commentary when discussing Shakur Stevenson, Gervontay Davis, and Devin Haney, admitting that while he doesn't personally like Davis, he has full respect for his skill, power, and explosiveness, and made it clear that all three fighters are exceptionally talented and fully understand how to operate at the highest level inside the ring.
They both are all great fights. I can't. You know what I mean? Because Devin's my guy. You know what I mean? Shakur, that's my little brother. You know what I mean? Like, I don't rock with Tank like that, but I respect Tank's skills and, you know what I mean, what he's doing in the sport right now. But, you know what I mean? They all talented. They all skillful. They all, you know what I mean, know what they doing in the ring, you know, boxing. But all three of them can box. You know what I mean? All got they attributes that suit them.
He went on to highlight that Davis, though shorter, packed heavier punches, and could unleash sudden bursts of power, while Stevenson's elite reflexes and defensive skills made him extremely difficult to
Not only does he have reflexes, he has good eyes too, and a lot of people don't notice the difference in that.
connect with. At the same time, he acknowledged Haney's height and reach advantages, pointing out that each fighter possesses traits that perfectly complement their style, but emphasized that Stevenson's speed, timing, and technical accuracy provide the kind of tools that could effectively counter a power puncher like Davis in a high-stakes matchup.
The best. Tank, powerful.
Yeah.
He might be shorter than him, but he punch harder than him, and he's more explosive than, you know what I mean, both of them. But like reflexes, Shakur, hands down, reflexes is killer. Now Devin, he's bigger than him. You know what I mean? He's taller, he's longer. You know what I mean? He's good at boxing. He's a boxer. You know what I mean?
Carmel Moughton, an up-and-coming talent from the Mayweather Boxing Club, who had the opportunity to spar with both Gervontay Davis and Shakur Stevenson early in his career, shared that each session offered a unique lesson in elite-level boxing. He described his rounds with Davis as a strategic chess match, where speed and movement were prioritized over raw power, giving him invaluable experience in trading quick exchanges with a highly skilled and explosive puncher.
Shakur, he had told me that I'm one of his favorite amateur fighters, and that I got a lot of skills. And I could beat a lot of pros, like champions or prospects right now. I could beat them. And when he told me that definitely gave me a lot of confidence too. Because I know he's been in there with a lot of them guys. He's fought them, he's sparred all of them. And so he knows. And then, so yeah.
In breaking down their styles, Carmel Moughton explained that Stevenson favors a consistent, high-tempo assault, maintaining pressure with precise, rapid combinations, whereas Davis relies on movement and bides his time to unleash sudden, powerful...
I wouldn't even necessarily say Stevenson is high pressure. I would say he's high volume.
...shots, showcasing his explosive...
with a strong, solid defense.
...bursts of power. Experiencing both approaches in the ring allowed Moughton to develop as a boxer and gave him confidence sparring with some of the sport's elite fighters.
Yeah, it's two totally different paces. Shakur's more like a constant pace. He takes his time, but he's always like in your face, putting his rangefinder out there.
Let me know in the chat. I got Shakur and Tank if they was to go at it.
Tank, he move around more and he wait and he explode with shots. He like to fight in spurts. So it's different, but it's all good work. It's all learning experience, and this helps me get better. It's hard to say. All them guys are really skilled. I feel like as of right now, the best out of them three, I'd have to say it's between Tank and Shakur. I feel like Shakur said at the end, it's gonna be them two. They gonna run through everybody else, and it's gonna be them two at the end. So I feel like that's how it's gonna go. And yeah, it's great.
Meanwhile, Gervontay Davis has been portrayed as pushing himself relentlessly in training, honing every aspect of his game, as if fully aware that a challenge like Stevenson's combination of speed and technical skill could be looming just ahead.
For my fighters in the chat, this is a great workout to get your punching power going. I do it myself.
Even with his raw power and aggressive approach, including accounts of him dominating sparring sessions with such force that even larger partners were left stunned and struggling to keep up. Tank's approach was all about explosive power, peak athletic conditioning, and staying ready for anything. Because when a fighter trains the way he does with fire, focus, and a killer instinct, 16:18 minutes, 18 seconds, every punch feels like it could change the story of the fight. Fighters like him didn't just show up prepared. They came hungry, laser-focused, and ready to make a statement if that Stevenson fight ever came to life.
Even the way he shadow box, you never see Stevenson shadow box with like such tenacity like this. So like Gervontay wanted more than him if they was go at it.
When entering the ring, Shakur Stevenson showcases a blend of speed, accuracy, and ring smarts. As rumors of a potential matchup with Gervonta Davis continued to swirl, Stevenson stayed sharp and prepared, taking every chance to spar with partners capable of handling tank-level power, and even shared his sparring efforts on social media, demonstrating his commitment to staying ready whether or not the fight was officially set.
Yeah. That's the second time that happened to you. Yeah. And I ain't even touch your body. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah. Bro. Again. One more. Yeah.
Earlier in their careers, Stevenson and Davis had gone head-to-head in a sparring session that neither would forget. Stevenson later reflected on it as intense and eye-opening, a clash where both pushed each other to the limits. As Stevenson remained active in the ring, honing his timing and sharpening his instincts, he stayed focused on the ultimate goal, facing Davis. Every drill, every session was clearly designed to keep him primed for the combination of speed, precision, and ruthless strategy that a fight with Tank would demand.
Start the year off right. We about to take this show. The whole phase. You know that. Yeah.
That was up. You doing this?
Although the Stevenson versus Davis clash hasn't been officially confirmed, both are widely recognized as the top stars in the lightweight division, and fans have been craving this ultimate showdown for years. Stevenson has been vocal about wanting the fight, and Davis has shown interest in meeting him in the ring, but negotiations and scheduling have kept it from happening, for now. So, who comes out on top if these two finally collide? Will Stevenson's discipline and precision
I ain't gonna lie, I think it's Tank, even though I like Shakur Stevenson.
outshine Davis's raw power and explosiveness, or is Davis the type to turn the fight around with a single punch? If you're pumped by this analysis, hit that like button, subscribe for more fight breakdowns, and drop your predictions in the comments. We want to know who you think would dominate this dream.
Obviously, signing multiple deals and getting in advance and having them pay you ahead of the fight. I mean, like, is that normal?
This is regarding Floyd Mayweather.
Does that happen?
I mean, you.
Nah.
Hey, yeah. Ocho, I've known players that they burn through their money. They take out an advance on next year's salary.
Nah.
Yes, you at this age, you gonna put that undefeated record on the line? That's his whole thing, Ocho. The whole thing is undefeated.
Yeah.
The whole time. That's why he said it. No, man. He said, no. I want to be the one to put that one on there. I want to put that blemish on that record. No. This ain't no exhibition.
Exhibition. For all the examples we've seen, him suing Showtime for $300 million, him foreclosing on multiple properties, him losing on investments on multiple properties, him buying a lot of depreciating assets, and him all of a sudden looking to box very much in the year 2026. Floyd losing money Mayweather, as the chatter says, is in dire straits financially. Now, again, is he got more money than me? Yeah, but he also spends a lot more money than me, which is why I thought him coming back to fight Manny Pacquiao, I mean, It made dollars, so sure, it makes sense. But for him to put his pro record on the line means this is really bad for Floyd. Well, turns out it could be as bad as we thought, or potentially worse, or in some form of getting this fight together, misspoke to one of these guys, or Floyd Mayweather is trying to Netflix.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. is once again at the center of controversy, and this time the situation surrounding a potential rematch with Manny Pacquiao is creating serious waves across the boxing world. What initially seemed like a massive, historic comeback fight is now tangled in accusations, contract disputes, and growing doubts about Mayweather's intentions. Manny Pacquiao has reportedly had enough. The Filipino legend is no longer staying quiet and has openly accused Mayweather of accepting an advance payment tied to a professional rematch, only to hesitate when it comes time to step back into the ring.
And what I signed, he signed a real fight, and I signed a real fight. He got his advance, so there's no reason to make excuses of that. So that's true. Well, we all look forward to that fight. I mean, he signed a real fight, and he got his advance. So then now makes excuses, no.
According to Pacquiao, there are no more excuses left. Either the fight happens under the agreed terms, or the entire deal collapses. His stance has sent a strong message. He's ready to fight, but only if Mayweather honors what was promised.
I mean, it's unfortunate that it's come to what it's come to. Obviously, when we first heard about him having a 3-fight deal, we understood why he's having a 3-fight deal. I gave my name to people that he could have fought, that could have helped him if he was in financial crisis and needed to recoup some of that money back. And Manny Pacquiao was one of the names. It's crazy that it's even got to this point. I don't even know what to think about it at this point. Obviously, signing multiple deals and getting in advance and having them pay you ahead of the fight. I mean, is that normal? Does that happen?
Adding fuel to the fire is the involvement of Netflix, which allegedly played a major role in promoting the rematch. The fight was expected to be a global spectacle, potentially reaching hundreds of millions of viewers. Early announcements hinted that this wouldn't be just another exhibition, but a fully sanctioned professional bout, one that could impact Mayweather's flawless 50-0 record. That detail alone has sparked speculation that protecting his undefeated legacy might be influencing his decisions.
Contracts that didn't say the same thing, that would be one of the most unprofessional things you could do. Not trying to point to Netflix or whoever else put this together, but something is off. Something's completely off, because you got one person saying this is a real fight. You got the promotion saying this is a real fight. You got Floyd Mayweather saying no, this is an exhibition. There's two things that are happening here. Either somebody messed up in paperwork or in communication, or in some form of getting this fight together, misspoke to one of these guys, or Floyd Mayweather is trying to Netflix. That is the only two things that can be possible here. Because we then get the report, as of yesterday, that Floyd Mayweather has already taken a cash advance payment of his purse.
Critics are beginning to question whether Mayweather is deliberately avoiding a real fight. Some believe
And apparently that's not the only purse he took an advance on.
he prefers exhibitions, where the risks are lower and the outcomes don't affect his official record. A professional rematch with Pacquiao, however, would carry real stakes and possibly real consequences. For a fighter whose brand has long been built on perfection, even a small risk of defeat could be a major factor.
It currently being in jeopardy.
Like the stream if you found value so far.
I don't even know how that's possible. Who gave him a cash advance before they even got to the fight? I understand paying some up front to secure the fight, but paying everything? Maybe it's not what it is. Maybe the cash advance is partially. But still, what? So if this is to be believed, and this is via ESPN, this is not, random Twitter person reporting this. I think Mike Coppinger also reported the same thing. If this is to be believed, Floyd took a cash advance and then undermined the promotion of his own fight to try to protect his 50-0 record and still make a bag.
There are also concerns about Mayweather's financial situation. While he has long been known as Money Mayweather, recent reports suggest things might not be as stable as they seem. Allegations of unpaid debts, disputes from previous exhibitions, and even the possibility of selling assets have surfaced. None of these claims is fully confirmed, but they've contributed to a growing narrative that financial pressure could be playing a role in his decisions.
Look at the way he lives life. You look at the way he does things, the entourage, the women, the jewelry, the bags. it's almost impossible, and you would understand that, Joe. You would also understand it. It's impossible to maintain a lifestyle like that when you're not still fighting.
Unless you got $200-300 million coming in.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
because you got money going out and ain't got
well,
none
you don't have
coming
enough
in.
coming in to maintain it.
I don't care how much you make, Ocho. How much did you keep?
Right. There you go. There you
It ain't
go.
how much you make, it's how much you keep. So imagine you make $1 billion. So in other words, he lives in Vegas. If he made $1 billion, he made $630 million. Now that's what he made. What is his lifestyle? Well, you got 2 jets. You got people, you know, and they say that he had people to wash his car.
The controversy doesn't stop there. Stories from past events have resurfaced, painting a picture of a fighter who has, at times, pushed negotiations to the limit. There are claims that Mayweather has previously demanded last-minute changes or higher payouts before agreeing to fight. Whether those stories are exaggerated or not, they are now being used to support the idea that this current situation follows a familiar pattern.
Done this for years. He has done this for years. Especially after his pro career. When he was doing these exhibitions, he would not show up to things he was obligated to do, take advances. Even the Deji fight, you can ask Deji. I was there. Floyd demanded that they pay him some insane amount of money or he wasn't going to fight Deji while he was at the venue. And they wanted to change gloves and do all this stuff. And I think they actually did it. They paid Floyd to do it. And I've seen this with a bunch of his exhibitions. And obviously we know about the Logan Paul situation, how Floyd shopped his fight to a different company after essentially royalty like Prince whoever in Dubai and stole his money. This is insane.
Meanwhile, respected boxing figures like Max Kellerman have offered their own perspectives.
This is pretty insane. We're starting to notice a weird pattern here where somebody's supposed to be a billionaire.
Kellerman has suggested that fear, specifically fear of damaging a perfect record, could be at the heart of the issue. He pointed out that other boxing legends have returned to the ring and accepted losses as part of the sport, while Mayweather has carefully avoided that risk. In contrast, Pacquiao continues to compete against younger opponents, reinforcing his willingness to take on real challenges.
I saw Manny draw against a world-class fighter, whatever you want to say about Barrios.
Barrios is...
And Mayweather is right at that age, almost 50, where guys fall off a cliff.
Yep.
And he has the undefeated record to protect.
And
right?
it's Mayweather's identity, right? That's its whole
That's
identity.
why Mayweather doesn't want it to be a pro fight. Because you want to just safeguard that record.
50 knows a big thing. And if you lose that, it's like, okay, Floyd, you know, so... But I would make an expedition because who's not going to watch it?
It's not up to him. He already signed a contract. It's a real fight.
That's what I don't get. How you sign a contract that
I'll
you
tell
saying
you
it's
something
not?
about retiring undefeated. It's interesting. You can retire. A lot of guys have passed Rocky Marciano 49-0, but then they kept fighting and they lost.
Chavez.
Right? Yeah, Chavez has won. There have been others. By the way, Rocky Marciano was training for a comeback when Floyd Patterson was champion. And I have no way, because he'd have beaten Floyd.
The situation has reached a critical point. Some insiders believe Mayweather may still want the fight, but only under conditions that favor him. Others think he may be looking for a way out altogether. Either way, the longer the uncertainty continues, the more damage it could do to his reputation.
Of Mayweather, as far as him wanting to come back and make a bag of money, then I think the fight has to happen regardless. You know, what other direction can you go if you're Floyd and if you really are in these kind of positions, you know? I've been the one to say it. I don't say that Floyd is broke. I think people overuse that word. I think he's likely over-leveraged. And when there's a difference between being over-leveraged and being broke. Being over-leveraged, if you're not careful, can lead you to being broke, but being over-leveraged also you can
it basically means he's broke. That's just a nice way of putting it.
Rebound and make a bag of money, and now you're perfectly leveraged, then you're fine, and you still have all that stuff that you had before, you know. So I think if that's the
But if he could be perfectly leveraged, he wouldn't be at this point so later on in his career if he had those abilities in the first place.
case, regardless, I think Floyd probably may be forced to do it the way Netflix decides to do it.
Adding even more tension is the possibility of legal action. If the contract terms have indeed been violated, Netflix or other involved parties could take the matter to court. A lawsuit would not only complicate things further but also put Mayweather's financial and professional standing under intense scrutiny. Despite all the chaos, there are still those who believe the fight could happen. Negotiations are reportedly ongoing, and there is too much money at stake for everyone to simply walk away. A professional rematch would generate far more revenue than an exhibition, especially with legal betting markets involved.
But we'll see. We'll see how things go on the inside. These are inner negotiations. I think it's more interesting if it is a real fight. First and foremost, with gambling being legal in the United States now, all over the United States, it brings in that much more revenue because you can gamble on a real fight. You cannot. There's no gambling on an exhibition. There's no real winner and loser in an exhibition. So that makes it very, very different, and that gives the image of the fight, the branding of the fight, a whole new vibe if it's a real fight as opposed to if it's an exhibition. So a lot to be discussed here before this.
Why is the money so important? Why do you always come back to the dollars?
Why not? I mean, everything you got on costs money. Everything you do costs money. You can't take your wife on a date for free.
Is that how you measure your success?
No. Me, I'm loyal and honest. And I'm a good person. And I call a spade a spade. Money don't make me, I make money. And without money, I'd be the same person. I fought so many fights for free.
You're getting emotional.
No, not at all. No, I'm thinking. I'm always thinking. How can I get better? How can our company grow? How can I continue to teach people around me how to fish? And I don't want to fish for it. We teach you how to become entrepreneurs. And if we can't, we want you to be the best that you can be if you're under the banner. Because Mayweather Promotion, we are the past, the present, and the future of sports and entertainment. We are.
Just Google Floyd's name and the IRS. All the news is out there. He owes jewelers money. There's back paid rent for real estate in New York. It's clear that he is now part of the no money team, which is very ironic. Floyd Mayweather filed a lawsuit with damages named like $360 million against Showtime and their president, Stephen Espinoza, alleging fraud, misallocation of funds. So this is definitely about the money.
Where does fraud come into play?
Received money for all three agreements when he signed it. Not only that, but he has taken out an advance on his purse to fight Pacquiao.
Floyd Mayweather hasn't had a real fight since 2015. Now, with IRS problems, unpaid rent, and debts, he's coming out of retirement after an exhibition with Mike Tyson, a long way from his old Money Mayweather image.
He has not had a real fight since 2015 when he beat Berto. Then he had the foray against Conor McGregor 2017. And
That was definitely a real fight.
he's done some exhibitions. And I don't know if you know this, Jason, but he actually made an official announcement with the press release. I'm unretiring. Get this. After my exhibition with Mike Tyson in April.
I heard this, yeah.
So that's in the Congo, Rumble in the Jungle Part 2. But yeah, it's for the money. If you, just Google Floyd's name and the IRS. All the news is out there. He owes jewelers money. There's back paid rent for real estate in New York. It's clear that he is now part of the no money team, which is very ironic.
A sports commentator pointed out that Floyd Mayweather built his whole money brand on showing off wealth and claiming smart investments. If financial trouble forces him back into the ring just for a paycheck, it could destroy the image he's protected for years.
The challenge for Floyd, and it's a challenge with a lot of young black men who become famous, is that he made a brand out of, let me show you what I have. I've made this much money. Let me take another picture with stacks of money. Let me tell you, I made great investments, so I'm good with money. He's been saying this for years. He built his brand off of it, literally changed from pretty boy to money. And if he ends up having money problems, he can't keep up that image, where he has to do something to go get the money. And in the ring, I love watching Floyd. It would be sad to watch him fight somebody like Terrence Crawford and get destroyed and destroy the image that we have of Floyd. The challenge with him, again, is he decided to build his brand around, I have a bunch of money. And this looks like what Ocho Cinco was referring to. It looks like he's doing it for the money. I hope, just like Shannon Sharp said, I hope he's doing it just because he just wants to fight and he doesn't have anything better to do. It doesn't look like that based on the way that he has branded himself over the last 20 years, but I guess maybe we'll find out, maybe we won't. But that article that you're referring to, Steve, I can't remember which publication put it out there, but they laid out a lot of the stuff that he allegedly is in trouble with financially.
Tim Bradley broke down how advance payments can be structured with a non-refundable clause, meaning the fighter keeps the money no matter what. He suggested that if Mayweather had that in his contract, the funds he received are essentially his to keep, fight or no fight.
The thing I want to make you guys aware of is that
when you get these advancements, you can put a non-refundable tag on these advancements. You can do that. Now I don't know if Mayweather did that, but you can. You can put a non-refundable attachment on this and be like, all right, you can, hey, I need an advancement for training. I need $3-4 million or whatever for training expenses. And if they agree to say yeah, and he put in a contract that is non-refundable, it's free money. It's basically free money.
Wade Clemens' claim that Floyd may be trying to scam Netflix has become the biggest shock of the drama, with critics now calling him Pity Mayweather instead of Money Mayweather. Adding to the tension, Wade Clemens alleges Floyd is quietly selling off properties at steep discounts just to stay afloat as his debts, lawsuits, and pressure from Netflix and Showtime continue to pile up.
He builds this immaculate place in Vegas thinking he's going to turn it over. Like he's flipped a couple of different properties. I'll give him some credit there. I think he flipped a house in Florida from 18 to 20 mil. And he's got a place in LA that's like $25 million. He's trying to sell now for like 48, which it's funny how now all of a sudden Floyd's trying to sell all of his assets. What does that tell you? He just sold his private plane as well, which I don't know what that went for. But again, he's offloading assets because he's massively in debt and owes people a lot of money. And he's trying to finance something, whether it's legal fees, whether it's other mortgages, whatever. But yeah, getting a net negative of $4 million on the house you built and then put on the market is probably the worst real estate investment you can make.
Setting the tone early, Showbiz the Adult said the rematch between Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Manny Pacquiao is a real fight, not an exhibition, and warned that saying otherwise goes against the agreed terms.
Floyd Mayweather is in breach of his contract. It is a real fight. It's a real fight between him and Manny Pacquiao. The rematch, September 19th at the Sphere. All the things that Floyd Mayweather was like, it's just an exhibition.
We both winners because it's an exhibition. So we're
Ain't no such thing.
both winners.
No, it's a real ass fight, and he's in breach. Damn it, damn it, Floyd. Damn Floyd. We got to talk about that.
Keeping it simple, Showbiz the Adult said it's not fair to call Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s situation avoidance at this stage, and instead focused on how Manny Pacquiao could adjust for the rematch.
You know, Floyd Mayweather's trying to duck Manny Pacquiao. He's ducking Manny, breaching. I'm going to ask you guys, can you duck at 50? Can you really? Is it really ducking at 50? If it is, it is. Let me know in the comments. But can you duck at 50, though? If it's like, I ain't got that kind of time, man. And when you listen to Manny Pacquiao talking about his game plan and how he's going to approach the rematch.
What adjustments do you think you're gonna make for the rematch? Adjustments compared to the first fight.
I have the improved and better strategy compared to the last one.
According to Wade
That was super vague. You take nothing away from that. You might as well not answer the question.
Clemens, Floyd Mayweather Jr. is buckling under serious financial pressure, pointing to a $340 million lawsuit he allegedly ignored in unpaid tax bills. With a ring comeback, possible Pacquiao rematch, and even Mike Tyson involved down the line, Clemens argues Floyd's main motivation is simply money, not legacy.
Told you guys, Floyd is going broke, and there's no other clear explanation other than, we can look through the court documents of him versus Showtime, but missing $340 million, being years and years behind on his taxes, that's clearly the motivation for this. And because Floyd, obviously, he is one of the best of all time. So if he still can do it, do it. But Mike Tyson, followed by Manny Pacquiao, will get you out of a lot of financial bad situations and bad decision-making.
Wade Clemens revealed that Floyd Mayweather Jr. misled Logan Paul's entire camp.
Floyd out here scamming Dubai royalty is crazy. This is a story I also heard from Gervontay Davis. When he said that Floyd owed them people in Dubai money, he scammed some person, some business person, some royalty in Dubai out of $10 million to stage. Remember, it was supposed to be like Floyd versus Logan on like a helipad or like on the top of the Burj Khalifa or something. It was way back, again, 5 years ago now, but that was like the initial rumblings around that fight. And what Floyd did was use Mayweather Promotions to bring them this fight and say, if you'll front us this money, we'll put this fight here. They fronted him the money. He took the money, had the fight at the Hard Rock in Miami with Fanmio instead. That was the company that put it on, Fanmio. And Logan saw none of that front end 10 mil. And the people that paid Floyd the 10 mil never saw a dime back.
Mayweather's statements directly go
I'm still confused when that could be possible.
against Netflix's own February 23rd announcement, which promoted a professional rematch with his 50-0 record on the line for over 325 million subscribers.
Ocho,
Everybody don't get it.
Ocho, you got to, and I understand, Chat, I understand about taxes. Uncle Sam, the only mofo that don't work and get half your money.
Hello.
He don't do ish. But got his hand stuck out. And I get it. I hate paying that quarterly payment. I hate it. But you ain't come to get my stuff.
Hey, well, you tell it. Listen, it's a select few, you hear me, Uncle Joe? It's a select few that sit high and look low. When it comes to them taxes, they make their own damn rules.
Mayweather is protecting his undefeated record by not fighting, and that stands for his scarred ego, terrified of a real pro rematch with Manny.
But when you look at the way he lives life, you look at the way he does things, the entourage, the women, the jewelry, the bags.
Your boy Mayweather, talking about, he thought that this fight that he had with Pacquiao was an exhibition.
He definitely didn't think that because there were talks that everybody were aware of him initially wanting to make it an exhibition, and then after he's gotten his advance, reneged on that statement and said it was going to be an exhibition and not a real fight.
He took an advance pay for 3 fights.
Right.
And now they're saying he's in breach of contract because he said that. Now Manny Pacquiao's team, they're saying that, it's a real fight and I wouldn't fight an exhibition. Lots right there. I mean, what's your reaction to all that?
I mean, I've heard this in the past that Pacquiao wasn't looking to do any exhibitions. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, if you knew. I don't know why Floyd's surprised that this is not an exhibition. I mean, you got to think anybody that want to fight Mayweather in a rematch, especially a Pacquiao or anybody up to that style, they don't want a real, something really to go down on paper. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't know the language barrier that was put forth upon signing these contracts. Maybe Floyd wasn't 100% abreast of what was going on. You know what I'm saying? And, it kind of slipped through the cracks that this is the real deal Holyfield. You know what I'm saying? We're not playing around. And, maybe that got through the cracks. I don't know how. I wasn't there. I don't know his business. But somehow, he's saying it did. I mean, well, he didn't say that. I'm just saying I don't know how he didn't catch on that this is the real deal Holyfield.
You think it could be possibly a publicity stunt to give?
Yes, that was my initial guess there. It's just some kind of publicity stunt to get more eyes on it, which would be actually genius.
Some type of push to the promotion. I mean, I don't know. Like when the announcement came out, I don't know if people were really too ecstatic for it.
It's something that you would, you can use to your advantage to try to push the fight. It'll let people, it'll get ears and eyes on the fight for people that didn't know the fight was happening. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know.
Because as a consumer looking in, you're like,
listen, man, I'm a fan of both guys, and I just want to watch it and see the fight happen. I mean, I'm a fan of boxing. I shouldn't say I'm a fan of both guys. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I correct myself when I'm wrong, man. You know that ASAP.
Yeah. As a consumer looking in, we're like, yo, is he like, what's the complaint? What's the problem here? Like, what are you scared of? Because is it your O? Is it your losing that O? Could be that it?
Of course. That's what it's all come down to. I mean, the O is like a 800 credit score. Globally, universally. You walk around with an 800 credit score with the O. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the O brings. It brings an
That's a great analogy for it.
800 credit score for wherever you go. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, Floyd he's done a great job with that. Great job. So of course he's gonna, show the roll on that. Oh, I ain't mad at him. Smart guy. He understand. He ain't no fool. Word.
Could it be possibly too that, Manny Pacquiao has been fighting at the top level, fighting Mario Barrios and getting a draw for that WBC title?
Mario Barrios is definitely not the top level.
Floyd hasn't fought world-class level in a long time.
I mean, one thing about me is, I can't speak about it, but I've never seen
Hello, sorry about that. I had some technical difficulties. Still mad in a bit. Hold on a second. Back to sharing the screen. My Wi-Fi just went off on me. My fault, guys. My fault. Now we're gonna go back to the Anthony Joshua video we was watching. So Wilder called him out, if you ain't know.
The question is, does he really want me? Do you really want Deontay Wilder?
I think it's simple. When I've listened to what he's been saying, that there does need to be one champion and one face. And we've both got an opportunity where I have no mandatories, he has no obligations. I'm more than willing to fight Deontay Wilder. I'm very keen to make that fight, but no fantasy contracts, just reality. You know, bringing our worth to the table and bargaining and negotiating what we're worth and making this fight happen.
What do you say to Joshua? Hey, baby, now it's time to shut up or put up. You gonna fight him? Hey, I'm willing and ready now. I'm back now. A heel Wilder is a dangerous Wilder, baby. Will you come back here to fight? I'll come anywhere in the world to fight.
Anthony Joshua fired back at Deontay Wilder's call out, making it clear he is willing and ready to step into the ring, but only under real terms, not fantasy contracts. He insisted this is a fight that must happen, urging serious negotiations rather than hype and empty talk.
I think in the reality and the scheme of things, it's a fight that we have to have. We're both in the same generation, the same era, we're both heavyweight champions of the world. So with that being said, as I said, like, there's no fantasy contracts. It's a situation where it's reality. Like, I don't like coming to a stage in my career when I'm just talking about what I'm worth and negotiations.
I ain't gonna lie, I got Anthony Joshua winning this.
And what we're bringing to the table. It's a fight that has to happen.
After defeating Derek Chisora by split decision, Deontay Wilder wasted no time calling out Anthony.
I don't think Derek Chisora is supposed to be easy work. That's a tune-up fight.
Joshua. He approached Joshua after the fight and made it clear he wants their long-awaited showdown next.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Joshua was ringside for the Derek Chisora versus Deontay Wilder fight, backing Chisora throughout the bout.
For you, you're doing great to have you here. Thank you for having me. It's good to see you. True. Hey, if Wilder wins tonight, do you climb in there and knock him out?
Chisora would have done it already. It's a great fight. Wilder, former world champion, and Chisora, who's a veteran for everyone.
You've had so much history.
There's no way he really thought Chisora was gonna win that fight. I don't know what's up with that.
With Chisora, Wilder and you have been talking
Probably because it's his boy, he's from the same country.
about in the same breath for the last almost 10 years. Both of these men may be coming to an end of their career tonight. How does it feel, and what do you think about what both of them have brought to the sport so far?
They both contributed massive amounts to the sport. I'm really rooting for Chisora. He was one of my idols, one of the guys I looked up to when I first started. You know,
That's what it is.
amateur coaches on the other side there, and we're just here to pay homage to one of our local fighters, really. Yeah, I'm here to pay him the respect he deserves. He won 50 fights, so we came out to support him.
This may be the last time you get this question, but if Wilder is successful, you know you got.
I don't want to talk about myself. People know what I'm about. People know what I'm about. You don't even have to ask that question. People know what I'm about.
Wilder explained in a post-fight interview that he exchanged words with Anthony Joshua, telling him, "Now let's get it on," and pushing for their long-awaited fight. He declared himself ready for anyone in the division, insisting his passion, confidence, and outspoken personality make him a dominant and essential figure in heavyweight boxing.
It wasn't a exchange. I mean, it wasn't a few words. You know, I dapped up with him and I said, now let's get it on. And it was simple as that.
Is that a fight you want next, Dion?
I'm ready for whoever. You know, it's whoever. As long as these guys is in the heavyweight division, I'm here. You know, like I said, you can call me Mr. Clean because I want to clean up the whole division. The heavyweight division is nothing without Deontay Wilder. The character that I bring, the things that I say. What other fighter you know make things go viral? Things that he said.
Literally plenty of fighters like Teofimo Lopez Floyd Mayweather.
Interviews, so I don't know what I want. You know.
Probably Romero.
And with that being said, you need that type of character, somebody that's real, somebody that's passionate about what he say, and unapologetic for what he say. Because I feel what I say and I mean what I say. These are not emotions that I speak from. This is passion in my heart that I speak from. A lot of these guys are scared to speak about certain things, especially being judged. You know, they're scared, but I am not.
Joshua believes a fight with Deontay Wilder is inevitable, as fans have long demanded it. He highlighted the explosive contrast in styles, his powerful left hand against Wilder's dangerous right, calling it a perfect matchup that guarantees excitement and a potential knockout.
I think for a reason, everyone wants Wilder to win, because that's the fight everyone wants to see. So Wilder's got a big right hand, I've got a great left hand. So it's going to be a matchup of a great boxing match, and that's the one that everyone wants to see. So we had a meeting about that. It's a great potential.
He also reacted to Tyson Fury, saying Deontay Wilder would knock him out in 2 rounds, brushing off the prediction because Fury
That's an interesting take.
has made similar claims in the past. AJ insisted he doesn't take those bold forecasts seriously anymore and won't let them affect his focus.
Tyson Fury said some things about you, as Tyson Fury always does. He said if you were to fight Deontay Wilder, that fight ends in 2 rounds, you'll get knocked out. What do you make of that opinion, from Tyson Fury?
That's the same man that betted on Charles Martin to beat me, Joseph to beat me. So the first time I would have listened. The second, third, and fourth time you get it wrong, you start realizing that he's a bit of a waffler. So Tyson Fury just doing what Tyson Fury does. He even said that he spoke to McGregor on the phone, and that was a lie as well. So what can we believe when it comes to Tyson Fury these days?
Eddie Hearn reacted visibly to the call-out, but didn't dismiss the idea of making the bout happen. Hearn was seen shrugging and gesturing toward Joshua when asked about Wilder's challenge, suggesting that the decision ultimately rests with AJ and his team rather than ruling the fight out outright.
We saw AJ proper willing Dell on ringside. Is Deontay Wilder still a fight of interest?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a big fight. Big fight. I thought Wilder boxed well, to be fair. He was under a lot of pressure, took some good shots. I thought he started to get his confidence a little bit, because obviously his confidence has been lacking. I thought it was a great fight. You know, listen, it was tough for Dell. I thought the right man won. Close fight, but Dell was amazing. It was always going to be that kind of fight. Respect to both. It's a decision for Derek, but I think he's done incredible in the sport. Don't think he's got a lot more to do.
Deontay Wilder has repeatedly said that if he and Anthony Joshua ever finally meet in the ring. However, Joshua responded firmly to Deontay Wilder's knockout claims, dismissing them as delusional. He made it clear he isn't buying into Wilder's bold talk, insisting no one is running from the fight and that such statements don't reflect reality.
I knock AJ out. I deliver what I supposed to deliver years ago. I deliver what they ran from. I deliver what he asked for $50 million for. I'm going to give him a $50 million knockout.
I honestly listen to what people say sometimes. They're avoided, this person's running. I honestly think some people are deluded. Really, I do think that they've got some sort of a long-term concussion, because no one's running. In terms of 50 million, I'm a businessman. If there was 50 million on the table, you think I'm not going to take it for a fight?
Anthony Joshua explained that past negotiations with Wilder's team broke down largely due to financial disagreements, with both camps unable to agree on a fair split. Joshua believed he was the bigger star with greater selling power, which justified him receiving a larger share of the purse rather than an even split.
When people talk about Canelo's the biggest engine in the sport. In fact, you are the #1 star in worldwide boxing. Canelo is 2, close, but you're #1 right now in the absence of Floyd Mayweather. And you put 100,000 people in Wembley. So I get your argument. I have the economic clout. He's not coming in as partners. I should get a bigger slice of the pie. Let's have a realistic negotiation.
A realistic conversation. #1, I feel like if you have to draw to be classed as heavyweight champion of the world, that's not where I'm going for. I'm knocking people out straight up, through and through. Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder drew. Let's not beat around the bush, and that's not how I want to retain my titles. And it's good because there's enough people in the playing field to be named great heavyweights in this era, which is good.
On the other hand, Wilder has claimed he offered Anthony Joshua a guaranteed $50 million to make their long-anticipated fight happen.
I don't believe that.
And that Joshua turned it down, suggesting Joshua isn't serious about facing him. Wilder insists this shows he was scared and didn't want the bout.
But I gotta ask you about Anthony Joshua. Because everyone wants that fight to happen.
You dare not.
I have to. Everybody wants to see it. Why isn't it happening?
I mean, he was just a coward, just straight out. He was just a coward. He didn't want to fight. You know, when a guy allows his people to not accept $50 million, that's a guarantee. yeah, you don't want to fight. You know, when a guy offered me 15 million flat fee, although that's the worstest offer in boxing history, pertaining to a fight of this magnitude, they still didn't want it, you know. So with that being said, they don't want to fight. They just want to, you know, trick people, manipulate them, contradict, and just compulsive liars. So
After keeping a low profile following his tragic car crash in Nigeria that killed two close friends, Joshua has
That was crazy. I forgot about that.
made a focused return to the gym, using training as part of his recovery and mental strength therapy. Promoter Eddie Hearn has hinted that while there's no rush, AJ is gradually rebuilding physically and emotionally, preparing for a late summer comeback and potentially targeting big fights later in 2026. His presence back in the gym shows he isn't finished with boxing and is committed to getting back into championship contention after his time away.
We know also that you've been back in the gym and just feeling it out. Eddie's talked about that. What's that been like?
So good. So when I first started boxing, I use it to kind of control my mindset, and it helped me with my mental health. For example, I was getting in a bit of trouble. Boxing helped change my mindset, and same again, it's helping me get through life now. Sports in general, fitness, wellness, amazing. It's amazing.
I mean, mentally tough doesn't even describe what it requires for you to be through.
Yeah, let's go to the fighting. It just helps. I think fighting and health and wellness is amazing in general.
Joshua said he has been working alongside Usyk's camp and coaching setup as part of his comeback preparations. Reports and footage show AJ linking up with members of Team Usyk in the gym, sharing training space and learning from a team that previously defeated him twice in the ring. This partnership highlights Joshua's dedication to evolving his skills and rebuilding confidence ahead of his next fight, while strengthening a respectful relationship with his former rival. Usyk, who remains focused on his own upcoming bouts, has welcomed the collaboration, making it a compelling storyline in the heavyweight scene.
Just where I was going with that was the fact that you linked up with Usyk, another guy who's about to be very mentally tough. We've seen the videos of the two of you. Looks great, man. Looks like a great friendship, and it is advancing your technical side of the boxing. What's that link up and friendship been like? What has it helped you and brought to you?
It's been really good. I like being in the gym. I'm with someone who's better than me, so I'm going to obviously progress on the back of that. And then what it is, they're doing everything that anyone could do it, but they're doing it. Anyone could do it, but they want it more. Right to fight their team, they just want it more, so they just put the work in, basically. But not just him, his whole team. Anyone could do what he's doing, but who really, really wants it? He works hard. He works very hard.
Deontay Wilder's call out of Anthony Joshua after his big win has dominated headlines, but AJ isn't the only contender in the mix. Alexander Usyk, the unified heavyweight champion, has also publicly called out Wilder as a potential next opponent, suggesting a major showdown could be on the horizon if negotiations align.
That's a nice couple matchups that could be good in boxing right now. I like where it's at.
And titles are at stake. Usyk's interest adds another layer to the heavyweight picture, showing that Wilder has options beyond just Joshua and that the division's top stars are willing to fight one another to settle supremacy. With both Joshua and Usyk eyeing big fights, Wilder's next move could define the division's direction in 2026.
This means you will continue to fight because everybody is asking, is Alexander Usyk continuing to fight, or maybe one by one every belt go?
No, I continue fight. I think next year I won't fight with Deontay Wilder. For me, I think it's interesting.
Why Deontay Wilder? Because people are saying maybe he's not as good as he was.
He definitely isn't as good as he was.
This world champion guy, this is very famous guy, this is strong guy, but it's Odin is one of his great heavyweight last 10 years.
Interesting.
Deontay Wilder reacted to Anthony Joshua training with Alexander Usyk by calling it interesting and acknowledging it shows AJ is serious about improving his game. Wilder didn't dismiss the partnership, but hinted that training with a top champion like Usyk could make Joshua even more dangerous.
Fans, we want to see you and AJ.
Yeah, man, AJ are coming.
Have you seen his training with Usyk? Did you see that?
Who's that?
Adrian Usyk training
Oh,
together
really?
now.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice. That's nice to hear. That's nice to hear, my brother. Stay here. Want to present my brother happy birthday, man? Yeah, man, that's you. Love you too, brother. Dear.
While the heavyweight division buzzes with talk of potential clashes between Wilder and top contenders like Anthony Joshua and Alexander Usyk, the build-up to these matchups has been shaped by Wilder's recent action in the ring. His latest fight against Derek Chisora not only showcased his raw power and resilience, but also set the stage for these high-stakes discussions, highlighting both the risks and excitement of facing the Bronze Bomber. The Chisora bout offered fans a glimpse of what to expect when Wilder steps into the ring with elite opponents, bridging the conversation naturally from speculation about future fights to the concrete action and drama that unfolded during that intense heavyweight showdown.
You've just seen another heavyweight fight, Derek Chisora, Gervontay Wilder. What did you make of it?
Yeah, look, it was everything you thought it was going to be. Entertaining, had its ebbs and flows, had its ups and downs, it had its moments. It did have all of those pieces. So yeah, look, it was a good little scrap.
How did you actually see it? Because it was chaotic throughout. There's knockdowns, there's both and falling out the ring, point deductions. How did you score it?
Yeah, that was really how I had it, chaotic. I had it relatively close. I probably was on similar to the judges, like relatively close, but I probably did have a Wilder in for a round or so, something like that. Maybe just off a little bit of the cleaner work. So yeah, look, I would have loved for Derek to go out on a win and go off kind of with his moment in his time and what I would call kind of his arena as well. But it wasn't to be.
After his split decision win over Derek Chisora, Wilder publicly criticized the officiating, saying he was hit repeatedly with shots to the back of the head, estimating he took 10-12 such blows during the fight, and that the referee didn't penalize them properly. He argued that those illegal punches left him dizzy at times and could even have serious long-term effects, stressing that fighter safety should have been better enforced. Wilder also claimed that if the bout had been officiated fairly, it might have ended much earlier than the final round.
If the ref was fair, you're looking at a third round stoppage. It's so many things went on. I got hit in the back of the head like at least 10 to 12 different times. And then when I finally want to retaliate and hit back, you point fingers at me, Deontay. I'm like, man, this man keep hitting me in the back of the head. I'm getting dizzy at times, but I'm bouncing back. I'm getting dizzy, but I'm bouncing back. You know how many fighters got hit in the head and don't wake up tomorrow? That's why I might not even go to sleep tonight because of the awareness of the awareness of getting hit in the back of the head and you not waking up tomorrow or something happening or something forming. I feel good externally, but internally something may be developing inside of me that I can't see right now because a referee decided to allow something to happen that it shouldn't have happened. That was one of the things the referee asked, do we have questions? And Shelley brought it to the attention. It was one of the things we warned him to not do. It's allow him to hit me in the back of the head. And then it's supposed to have been a disqualification because his team ran up in the ring. I mean, damn, I'm fighting Derek and the referee. I'm like, it's crazy. I just hope and pray that the boxing commission, the people, do something about these things. That referee shouldn't be able to ref again.
Meanwhile, Derek Chisora admitted the toll the sport has taken on him and suggested it may be the end of the road. Speaking at the post-fight press conference, Chisora acknowledged he's tired and confessed, "I can't do it anymore," indicating his body and motivation have reached their limit after a long, hard-fought career. While he didn't completely rule out staying involved in boxing in another capacity, the veteran heavyweight made it clear that stepping away from active competition feels like the right decision now that he's achieved his milestone 50 fights and given everything he had in the ring.
But you know, I'll be honest with you, I'm tired now. I can't do it anymore. You know, when you know it's time, it's just time. You know, I've had a great career. You know, I always say boxing opens doors and it opens legs as well. Yeah, so it's been amazing.
Derek, are there other avenues that you want to take within boxing if there's nothing in the ring at this stage?
I know Zeus have emailed me. They say they want me to come and join them, so...
Scumbag. Scumbag.
More view on the TV.
Nah, We'll see. Google, I don't know. Right now, I'm just gonna chill out. Thank you, Misfits, maybe. Ooh, that's a good one. Can I fight you heavyweights at Misfits?
Chase tomorrow night.
Yeah. Done. I'm gonna Misfits now.
Wilder has made it clear that a win over Derek Chisora won't slow him down. He plans to keep fighting with the ultimate goal of unifying the heavyweight division. At 40, he insists he feels revitalized, crediting his disciplined diet, lifestyle, and training for sustained energy, faster recovery, and peak performance, proving that age isn't a barrier in the ring. Wilder's commitment shows he's still a serious contender, ready to chase big fights and take on the division's top heavyweights, keeping fans excited about what the Bronze Bomber can achieve in the next chapter of his career.
So I'm looking forward to my version of me being healed back and being better. You know, I need someone like Derek to bring everything he got, and I needed to be out of my comfort zone, you know, in a different location and place, and here I am, you know. So God is good, you know, he's amazing, and things don't happen, you know, for no reason. I think all things happen for a reason, and we'll see what the reason behind this one after the victory. Most definitely, you know, I'm here for the long run. Things, like I said, my goal is to unify the division, and I won't stop until I do that. At least that's what my body is telling me at this moment in time.
Who would come out on top if Anthony Joshua finally faces Deontay Wilder in the ring? Share your predictions in the comments below.
News to discuss today. It's a few things we're going to go through. First, we're going to start off with Gervontay Davis and Shakur Stevenson fight coming up, and we got Oscar De La Hoya did an interview with Shannon Sharp. So you know I mess with Shannon Sharp, so I could listen to him, and he knows about football, but about boxing, I haven't really been able to stand him yet, really, whether or not he truly knows what he's talking about. But let's see what we got here today. It's been a nice little treat to start off with.
He said is very skillful. He's a beast. He knows how to figure you out. But one thing about Tank, which I love, and this is why he's going to be great, because he fights.
There's one thing about Tank.
He won't go down easy.
He's slow 4 or 5 rounds,
Sure.
but once he
turns it up, oh man, it's beautiful.
He relentless.
It's
He's
beautiful.
relentless.
I don't know. Shakur has really good defense, man. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of sets him apart from a lot of guys. You know what I'm saying? So that's that call I can't really make. You know what I'm saying? I think they're both like great in their own rights.
But I can't say I'm happy to see Tank putting a foot forward, at least get back in the ring. You know what I mean? I feel like he got more work to do. It's a lot more work out there.
Shannon Sharp and Oscar De La Hoya praised Tank's dominance. De La Hoya believed Shakur looked drained and had little chance.
I felt so bad because he was up.
Yeah.
He was a dead man. He reminded me of me when I fought Pacquiao. Okay. And then when the next day you can weigh a certain amount.
Probably couldn't get over 140.
There's no chance he's gonna win against Tank, who's a beast. It's no chance.
Shakur might have beaten Tank without the rehydration clause, but De La Hoya wasn't sure. He called Tank skillful and dangerous and said Davis's fearless style made him a star.
If he doesn't have the rehydration clause, I don't know. I just do not know, because Tank, like I said, is very skillful. He's a beast. He knows how to figure you out. But one thing about Tank, which I love, and this is why he's going to be great, because he fights. And when you fight, you're going to get hit. And when you fight, you're going to get hit and you might get knocked out. But that's the beauty about Tank.
That's why they love him.
Fights, and that's why they love him. That's a perfect example.
Right.
Tank Davis is a star.
De La Hoya wanted to see the fight at 147, but admitted it was too much weight for Tank. Still, he added it would be competitive because Tank had the heart to fight.
At 140, let's just say 144,
I would love to see it at 147.
147.
Yeah.
That's a man.
It's too much for
That's a lot of weight for Tank.
It's too much for Tank. Yeah, it's too much for Tank. But it still would be an incredible competitive fight because Tank he has the dog in him.
Oh, yeah.
Coach Kenny Ellis, however, dismissed the debate, noting that fans would always be divided between Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson. He emphasized that it's just part of boxing. If the fight happens, it happens. If not, the discussion continues.
All day, you're going to have Gervonta fans and you have Shakur fans. That's the sport.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Don't let it stress you out. This shit is crazy. If they fight, they fight. If they don't, well, they don't, you know?
Shakur Stevenson declared he is prepared to take on Gervonta Davis, insisting that any questions should be answered in the ring. He called on Davis to sign the contract and face him under the spotlight for millions to watch.
If any fighter have an issue with me, because I feel like Tio was jealous of me. I told him this several times. Any fighter have any issue with me,
Let's do it.
sign the contract, turn the lights on bright, let millions come around the seats to see what's happening, and pull up on me.
Gervonta Davis is also preparing with intense focus, honing explosive power and precision. He drills mitts and hits the heavy bag for hours, perfecting speed, timing, and accuracy for the fight. Ade Olapido emphasized that the fight between Shakur Stevenson and Tank Davis has to happen at 135 pounds. He explained that Shakur moved up to 140 because he couldn't secure the fights he wanted at 135. According to Olapido, the matchup everyone truly wants is Shakur versus Tank, bigger than Shakur versus Teofimo or any fight involving Devin Haney. He added that for American boxing and the culture, this is the showdown fans have been waiting for 3 to 4 years.
Shakur Stevenson versus Tank Davis has to happen at 135. Like Shakur going to 140, for me, is almost because he can't get the fights he wants at 135. The fight he wants is Tank Davis. He wants to fight Tank. And I'm telling you now, for American boxing, there might not be anything bigger. Shakur versus Tank is mad. Like Shakur versus Tio is good. But for the culture, Shakur versus Tank is the fight everyone wants to see. It's the fight we wanted to see for a long time now. I'd say about 3 or 4 years. Not Shakur versus Devin or Tank versus Devin. No, Shakur versus Tank is what everyone wants to see.
A boxing analyst noted that Tank normally knocks opponents out and always gets paid because of his devastating power. But facing Shakur Stevenson, he warned, would be different, like Deontay Wilder against Tyson Fury. He explained that when Tank meets someone he can't knock out, all that power only turns into frustration in the ring.
Tank knocked us out. Tank gonna always get paid anytime he feel like fighting because he got that knockout ratio. But when he come across Shakur Stevenson, I'm gonna say it here on the front page, and Tank, I love you, brother, and still would love to talk to you. But when you get in there with Shakur, it's gonna remind me of Deontay Wilder fighting Tyson Fury. Because what you gonna do when you come across a you can't knock out? Only thing you gonna do is just get more frustrated.
That's a terrible analogy.
Justin Palmieri noted that if the fight happens, it would feature the two best in the division going at it. He acknowledged Shakur looked impressive stepping in on short notice against Padley, but noted the circumstances favored Shakur. Palmieri praised Shakur's heart and competitiveness, but admitted he didn't expect the fight to actually happen. If it did, he predicted a late stoppage victory for Tank, giving him the edge, while recognizing the matchup would be competitive until the finish.
We're going to see that. It's the two best in that division going at it. But I still think Tank edges him out. I think Shakur looked great against Padley coming in on late notice, but it was Padley. You know what I'm saying? The dude was on a roof 2 hours before he stepped in the ring. You know what I'm saying? So all respect in the world.
But hey,
Yo, he got heart though. I love it. I love to see that, man. But yeah, I want to see. I want to see the fight happen. Do I think it's ever gonna happen? I really don't. If I'm being honest, I don't think it's gonna happen. But if it did, give me Tank late stoppage.
Yeah,
late stoppage. Only because Shakur's gonna have to bang with him towards the end. I think he's gonna.
Is it competitive until the stoppage?
Oh, absolutely. It's the two best in the world. But I'm just giving that edge to Shakur. Not Shakur, excuse me. I'm giving the edge to Tank over Shakur.
David Benavidez expressed excitement about a potential showdown between Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson, calling the 135 to 140 pound division hot right now. He noted that such a fight would be highly anticipated and by no means easy, highlighting how Shakur had recently dominated a top fighter like Teofimo. Benavidez also praised Stevenson for becoming a 4-division champion, noting his legendary status, Hall of Fame trajectory, and young age. The ex-post summed it up. The fight fans most want to see is Tank versus Shakur.
It seems like obviously Shakur Teo was the hot fight that just happened, and Shakur, hot fighter, with his dominant win. Give me the one fight you would love to see two guys right now who are in their prime.
Off of that victory this weekend, I would love to see Shakur and Gervontay. I think Gervontay and anybody in any of the top guys at that weight class is a great fight. Gervontay, Shakur, Gervontay, Teo, Gervontay, Keyshawn. I mean, that 135 to 140 pound weight class is hot right now. You know what I mean? But that would be a great fight. I think probably that would be one of the fights that would be the most anticipated. If they can make happen, Gervonta Davis and Shakur Stevenson. By no means it would be easy for either fighter. We just seen that Shakur Stevens was able to shut a great fighter like Teofimo down and made him look silly. So that would be a great fight, and a big shout out to Shakur Stevens becoming a 4-time division champion. He's on legendary status. He's on his way to be a Hall of Famer too, and he's still very young.
Chris Algieri highlighted the clash of styles in the 135-pound division, calling it fascinating. He pointed out that Tank combines offense and destructive power, while Shakur relies on defense, timing, and distance control. Algieri said that contrast is exactly what makes the matchup so compelling and keeps the debate alive. Who truly is the man?
Tank has it all. And it's very interesting because we have a guy who's so good and so offensive and so destructive. And then we have another guy who's so defensive, it's so hard to hit, and such a good judge of distance. It's a very, very interesting weight class 135, which is exactly why we're talking about it right now. Who's the man?
Terrence Crawford picked Shakur Stevenson over Gervonta Davis, emphasizing that his choice came down to pure boxing skill. While he recognized Tank's talent and power, Crawford insisted that Shakur presents a completely different challenge in the ring.
Brother, you know what I'm saying? Shakur, that's the fight. Everybody want to see that. That's the 50-50, I think. You know what I'm saying? I've been saying 50-50. I told both of them that. That's a toss-up to me. No bias. Don't just say that because it's your man. Who you got winning that?
I got Shakur.
Are you saying that because that's your man and you don't like Tank?
No. Hey, like I said, I respect Tank. Like boxing, he's one of the ones.
Yeah.
We're gonna take his personality and personal things out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Boxing, he's definitely talented.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he's definitely got that it. And he's definitely respected in boxing. But Shakur is a different fighter.
Terrence Crawford described Shakur as a unique challenge. While some might label him boring or question his power, Crawford emphasized that Tank won't find him easy to hit like other opponents. He also noted that Davis tends to downplay Shakur's accomplishments, turning the narrative more into marketing than the truth.
Shakur is different. People may call him boring. People may say he can't punch. But they said the same thing about Floyd. Because they defensive fighters.
Yeah.
Tank is not going to be able to hit Shakur like he hit everybody else. And he know that. He knows that. That's why he's like, he's boring. He's this, he's that. He's trying to diminish everything that Shakur have done. So it's not marketable.
Furthermore, Timothy Bradley pointed out the doubts surrounding Gervonta Davis, questioning the quality of his competition. He also considered what Shakur Stevenson would truly gain from a win, suggesting the payoff might be more about money than boosting his standing in boxing history.
You already know the perception of Tank by many of the boxing pundits and the fans of boxing. You know, you already know how they feel about Tank Davis when it comes to, you know, I hear people talk about his resume. I hear people talking about, well, he's only one division champion. He really only won one belt. You know, the guys that he's faced, you know, he hasn't faced a top tier elite fighter, so on and so forth. So with that being said, why even want to entertain a fight with Tank Davis? I mean, how much credit are you going to really get, Shakur, besides the money, right?
Meanwhile, Gervonta Davis has made his return to training, preparing for his next fight. While his opponent hasn't been announced, Tank is approaching every session with focus and determination, aiming to come back stronger and sharper than ever. Gervonta Davis is back in the gym, fully focused on improving his technique, boosting his stamina, and perfecting the strategy he intends to use in the ring. At the same time, there are talks about Shakur Stevenson possibly fighting Ryan Garcia, creating more excitement around his next move. Ryan is eager to face Shakur, but he also acknowledges the importance of the Haney fight. He explained he wants to move directly from Barrios to Shakur, skipping nothing in between.
We need that Haney fight too, though.
No, I know that's always going to be there, though, but that's who I want to fight. I want to go from Barrios to Shakur.
Oh, like straight to it.
Yeah.
What, 47?
44.
Shakur welcomed the matchup, calling it perfect and full of excitement. He added that it would also be a big money fight.
It'll be a lot of excitement to that fight. It's a big money fight. Ryan Garcia is somebody that comes in there.
Shakur Stevenson explained that Ryan Garcia is unpredictable. Sometimes he shows up sharp, other times not. Either way, Shakur believes Garcia wouldn't stand a chance.
You never know which version of him is going to show up. So if the good version of him show up, he gets spanked. If the bad version of him show up, he gets spanked. Either way, he don't stand a chance. He don't stand a chance.
Yeah, look, Shakur, you and
Sergio Mora described Ryan Garcia as flat-footed, while portraying Shakur as lightning fast and elusive. He explained that Shakur's Olympic-level skills, ability to move through weight classes, and defensive mastery make power alone ineffective against him. He compared Shakur to legends like Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Andre Ward, highlighting his timing, confidence, and momentum, and called him a truly special fighter.
Ryan Garcia is flat-footed. Shakur Stevenson is a cheetah in and out, man. I mean, he's been so successful from the Olympics to moving up in weight divisions. Power's not going to be enough for him. And if you're not going to be a volume puncher, like Ryan Garcia clearly is not a volume puncher, then how are you going to beat Shakur Stevenson? How are you going to be able to compete with that in-and-out southpaw style where he doesn't engage with you? The timing, the confidence, the momentum. Shakur is cut from the cloth of Floyd Mayweather Jr., Andre Ward, and these greats that don't get touched. They don't get hit. The defensive geniuses, Pernell Whitaker. I mean, these are big names, but Shakur's cut from that cloth, man. He's special.
Expressing his thoughts on this possible matchup, boxing journalist Sean Zittel noted that Ryan Garcia struggles when his confidence wavers, with recent knockdowns disrupting his rhythm. He explained that over 12 rounds, Shakur's precision and control could exploit that, though Shakur lacks one-punch knockout power. Zittel added that while Ryan enters as the underdog, the contrasting styles could still make the fight surprisingly competitive.
He fights when he's feeling it and he's confident. You know, it's a different animal in there. And they both tamed him in the second round with their knockdowns. And so maybe Shakur over 12 rounds will do because he's so pinpoint. Look, Devin and Shakur, I'm not saying they can't punch. Devin showed against Brian Norman he can punch. Shakur is one of those guys so sharp, so pinpoint, like Floyd was once he got in higher weight classes. Okay, he may not stop you necessarily, but he's got enough to keep you respectful and not. But that being said, Since they don't quite crack like Gervontay and Rolly, I think that's an interesting element of Ryan against both of them.
Yeah.
Ryan's a little bit bigger than Shakur. He's very fast. He punches hard.
Yeah.
And then we already saw the first time with Devin, you know, it's every time they fought in the amateurs, it was a tough fight, both ways. So he's he's the underdog against Shakur, but I think he's a more competitive matchup than Teofimo turned out to be. Styles make fights.
I agree.
And then Devin, I think a lot of people look at the rematch as a 50-50 fight.
Gary Russell Jr. observed that Ryan Garcia has shown little respect for opponents' power, previously underestimating Devin and believing he could hurt him. Russell suggested that the same mindset would likely continue against Shakur, with Ryan not intimidated by Shakur's power. He stressed, however, that the real challenge lies in timing and strategy, noting the fight would hinge on how and when Garcia chooses to launch his attacks.
Devin's pop, his power, none of that. He didn't respect that. Ryan has the ability to hurt him. I believe, just like with you mentioned with Shakur, Ryan won't respect Shakur's power. And he does have the ability to hurt Shakur. The difference is, I think Shakur...
Can he hit him?
He'll that's going to be the issue. How you attack and when you attack. That's going to be the issue. Just like with Andy Hiroka, the same way with my younger brother competing against Andy Hiroka.
Timothy Bradley Jr. also stated that he views a Ryan Garcia versus Shakur Stevenson matchup as heavily one-sided. He argued that neither speed nor power would matter if Garcia couldn't land clean shots, expressing doubt that Garcia could connect effectively. Bradley questioned Garcia's consistency, noting that occasional flashes of brilliance aren't enough, and insisted that until Ryan performs at that level consistently, skepticism will persist.
Everybody keep talking about this Ryan Garcia, Shakur Stevenson fight. Boy, I'm here to let you know this shit gonna be easier than the Teofimo Lopez fight, because it's about skills inside that damn ring. That's what it's about. Ryan can have all the speed in the world. Shakur got speed. He can have all the power in the world. Oh, he can have all the power. Yeah. Oh yeah. But when he can't land on shit, that shit don't mean nothing. And he ain't gonna land on Shakur. Shit, no, it's not gonna happen. And it's gonna be like taking candy from a damn baby. That's what it's gonna be like. Taking candy from a baby. A lot of upset folks, a lot of people depressed. Yeah, it took this man 10 years to win the championship. One championship, 10 years. Oh, that's y'all king? Okay, let it be y'all king, all right? No doubt. But you get consistent with your performances, Ryan Garcia, maybe I'll believe in you. Maybe I'll just believe in your ass, but you ain't consistent, my boy. This is a one, well, maybe two off. But, you know, again, that time when you look good, yeah, when you supposedly didn't train, that time, oh, yeah, you look good like that in this fight, for sure. Oh, you did.
Aiden Ross also weighed in on a potential Ryan Garcia versus Shakur Stevenson fight, praising both fighters for their skills. He acknowledged Shakur would enter as the favorite, but noted the matchup would be close. Ultimately, Aiden predicted that Ryan has the tools to come out on top.
Ryan Garcia, dude, shout out to Ryan. You know what, man? That Ryan-Shakur fight's going to be a good one. Chad, if Ryan and Shakur fight in about 6 months to a year ago, Shakur's just...
In the comments below.
Is inside right. A former heavyweight contender and world-class trainer, Malik Scott.
What's up, man?
Yes. Round of applause. To my left, in New York, he'd be called a rat, but in LA, he's called an insider. Ring Magazine senior insider, Mike Coppinger. And to Mike's left, a guy who just couldn't bring himself to pull the trigger on a Deontay Wilder bet with former all-decade NFL running back and future NFL Hall of Famer, Shady McCoy.
Bomb Squad!
Thank you,
Let's
Shady.
go!
Thank you for not taking my money.
You picked the wrong one, I told you.
You did tell me.
Bomb Squad!
Coming up on today's show, we will chat with the Gypsy King himself, Tyson Fury, ahead of his return to the ring this upcoming Saturday against Arslan Bek, Makhmudov, and joining us a bit later, Hamza Shiraz, the chief support for the epic Glory in Giza card on May 23rd, live from the pyramids of Egypt. But right now, it is time for the lead hook. This Saturday in London, live on Netflix, former two-time heavyweight champion Tyson Fury returns after yet another retirement and takes on Arslan Bek, Makhmudov. Fury is 37 years old. He hasn't fought since his loss to Alexander Usyk in December 2024. Malik, other than winning, what do you need to see from Fury in this fight to believe he can still compete at the top of this division?
Well, unfortunately, Max, Fury don't get like, I would say, like the kind of pass that most would get after such inactivity. And the type of opponent he's going against is a big guy, but he's a bit slow. And in my opinion, he's a bit vulnerable for everything that Fury has to offer. Inactive, or if he's been fighting a lot. I just think he's tailor-made for everything Fury got to give.
What's crazy about Fury is when he's at his best, he's one of the all-time greats in the division because he's 6'8", 270 pounds, moves like a lightweight, has like radar to avoid punches, has a ton of heart getting off the deck in all kinds of situations, coming back to win. But when he's at his worst, he almost lost to Ngannou. Like, it's such a swing with him. What do you think? What are we supposed to expect here?
Yeah, look, like you said, he's been out for a long time. He's getting up in age. He's been in a lot of tough fights, too. I mean, people forget that third fight with Wilder was grueling. I think it took a lot out of him. Now you have his father trying to say that Fury's past it. Look, I expect Fury to still be pretty good, like Malik said. He trains, I think he's training really hard from what I've been hearing in Thailand. He's in good spirits, and he loves these kind of stages. Stadium fight on Netflix.
You know,
and his body looked good too. Fury good. His body looks Fury good.
Yeah,
you know,
Fury good.
good.
Mike just said something that blew my mind, guys. I had never thought of it like that. You know, because like after the Thriller in Manila, Muhammad Ali still beat some good heavyweights because he's Ali. He was never the same, right? It never dawned on me that he really has been a different fighter since the third Wilder fight. That was an epic, brutal fight, and that can take it out of you. Where are you?
I mean, are we talking about the Gypsy King here? Listen, he's gonna be ready for this fight. I think he wins convincingly. He can box with the best of them at that size. The one thing I love about him is he predicts the fight. When I say predicts it, he controls it. Even the Usyk fight, even the first one, he played around with him. But for a lot of that fight, he was whooping on him. And that's Usyk we talking about. So I think we see the Gypsy King come back to real form, right? Puts a great performance on because he wants everybody to know I'm coming back. And when Tyson Fury comes back, he lets the world know. So I'm expecting my guy to go on and do his thing.
It's a great point about the Usyk fight. And I bring this up all the time, how by the middle of that fight, it was a little embarrassing.
Come on,
how he was outclassing Usyk. He was playing with him. He was embarrassing him. He had separated himself. But let's take it a step further. The reason Usyk, who's already an all-time great at cruiserweight and who beaten Anthony Joshua twice, right? But the reason, number one reason, we consider him among the greatest pound-for-pound fighters of all time is because he came back and won that fight against Fury. When you're the guy who the other guy proves he's one of the greatest fighters ever against, that says a lot about you.
This may sound crazy to some, but I think Fury's actually underrated all time. I think, you look at his body. Like Roy Jones always says, right? Y'all must have forgot. I think Fury's going to remind everybody on Saturday. I think Makhmudov is a perfect opponent. The guy just went life and death with Dave Allen, who's an undersized heavyweight.
Y'all got Fury by stoppage or by distance? You too, Shady. Fury is by stoppage or by distance?
I think distance. I think he's going to take his time. He's going to boxing.
You too, Mike?
I'm saying knockout. I'm going to say middle round.
You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say knockout? Sugar Hill. When Fury gets with the Kronk, is when he has it in his mind, I'm knocking this dude out.
He becomes the Kronk. Yes, he do.
And the thing about Fury that's crazy is, after the first fight with Wilder, he should have won on points. He got a draw. And he said, I'm going with Sugar Hill because I want to knock him out. When you hear a fighter say he needs to change fundamentally who he is as a fighter, so he's going with a new trainer, that is almost always nonsense. You can't just change your strikes in one fight. But it's exactly what he did.
And he did that in a fight. He came from a fight where he got knocked down twice. He felt Deontay's power, and something told him, I could do this if I go forward. So you got to commend him on that.
He hit him with the Kronk style and knocked him out.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he really controls what he wants to do.
Yes.
A lot of fighters can't do that. If I want to go ahead and knock this guy out, I'm going to try to do that. If I want to box him, I'll go box him. That's how
he hit him with the Kronk style, and Wilder's built like the ultimate Kronk fighter, not Fury. And Sugar Hill came. So I see Sugar Hill, I think, he's thinking, I'm knocking him out.
Max, that's a great point because people forget. It was laughed at when Fury said, I'm going to knock this guy out. Wilder said you have pillow hands. Fury was considered a puncher.
He wasn't a puncher.
Wilder was fine to say that.
Yes.
Me too.
It didn't match the first fight because the first fight he was with Ben Davis, which is a good style, but he was moving, circling. So when people say he's coming back for the knockout, and when he said, we like, well, how?
Fury's also a guy who surprises you. Like, I was surprised by the Ngannou fight. It's surprising, right? Good and bad. But people forget now, Vladimir Klitschko had a 10-year run at the top of the division, a decade.
Right.
You love Larry Holmes. He had that kind of title reign, just beating everybody. Who's eventually going to beat Klitschko? Now people remember where AJ got him at the very end. But Tyson Fury outboxed him and beat him clean when Klitschko was at the top.
Yes.
That was the first eye-opening.
And that win it gets swept under the rug because people don't like the way it looked. It wasn't
I'm one of the people who like the way it looked.
He's definitely underrated, though. He's definitely underrated, for sure.
Totally underrated. And in terms of championship heart, SS Cunningham, good cruiserweight, but a smaller guy, knocked him down in a way you're like, oh, man, I don't know if he's getting up. Popped up and won the fight. Deontay Wilder detonated on him with a right hand in the 12th round. By the way, this is why I compare it to Ali Frazier. Yes, Ali Frazier's even better, but Frazier knocks Ali down, the quintessential left hook artist, in the 15th round of a brutal fight, right on the chin. 3 seconds on the floor, Ali is up and finishes the fight, right? But Tyson Fury did the same thing. Last round against the quintessential right-hand puncher, takes it right on the chin. So he's dead to the world.
Actually got hit with two shots.
Two shots, right. On the way down. Take that with you. And got up.
Not only did he get up, he was putting it on Wilder. He rocked Deontay to put him into the fight.
Tyson is special. All right, guys, we know the plan for Fury is to win this fight and you fight AJ, right? But here's a question. Let me throw a curveball at you. Let's say Fury looks really sharp and he wins easily and he looks like himself. That's Tyson Fury. Would you rather see him against AJ, given the way AJ just looked in his last fight against Jake Paul?
We still got to count it. We still got to count it.
Hold on.
Shady, we do.
Hold on. Would you rather see him? First, I'm going to give you this option against one of the young guys, Caballel, Wardley, Atama. What would you rather see?
I want to see Joshua. I love big events, and this is the biggest fight in British history. I mean, boxing-rich country,
Bigger than Bruno and Lennox Lewis. Yeah, I think so.
So, I love big events.
I'm sitting up here, and I'm with all these experts, years of experience, and you had the nerve to ask that question? Why do we want to see Fury versus AJ? Seriously, though. Because you beat Jake Paul? What?
You saying it's too lopsided? If Fury looks like himself, it's too lopsided.
If Fury is at his best, like we know him to be, he wiped the floor with AJ. Are you serious?
But let's say Fury doesn't look so good, and he barely wins.
I'm still trying to figure this thing out, man. Right? I know we had April Fool's Day the first, and I'm past that. But I want to tell me, like, why are y'all so big on AJ? I don't know what it is.
He knocked out Klitschko. You can say whatever you want.
Old.
Klitschko beats any other heavyweight on that night.
He was old.
And he climbed off the deck to knock him out. He beat Joseph Parker, who was
when he didn't ride.
Excellent heavyweight, but he's good. The Olympic super heavyweight gold medalist, Kapekin. He's got real wins.
All I'm saying is everybody we just talked about Usyk earlier. We talked about Wilder. We talked about Fury. AJ can't sit with these guys.
All right, listen.
Come on, man.
So would you agree with that?
AJ, go get the coffee.
The better Fury looks, the less you want to see him fight AJ. But what about the worse he looks? Let's say you look at Fury and you're like, that ain't it anymore. But he wins.
See Fury and
How about Fury and well, we're gonna get to that in a second. How about Fury and AJ then? As a big event.
It's just funny though, because like you're saying, the worse we see.
The more you want to see him fight AJ. Yes,
that's to show you what AJ, who he really.
At this point, maybe. All right, but by the way, sleep on AJ though. AJ might surprise
I'm sleeping and going to continue to.
And meantime, Makhmudov is not compared to Fury, but compared to most, a big physical heavyweight. What kind of challenge does he present?
I think he presents the kind of challenge that if Fury's sleeping on him, he's going to be in for a rough night. This is a massive man. He's about the same size as Fury. He can punch. He's physical. He's strong, but he is a slow plotter. If Fury's on his game, Fury should play with him, but he can't take him lightly. And I think this is the perfect kind of tune-up for a fight with Joshua.
And I also think he's a bit of a front runner too, Mike. Things get rough with.
Can he punch harder than Wilder though? He can punch with some volume. We see, and he can stay in there, and he's strong. But Wilder is a different level.
For him, even Allen was able to make things rough every time he get hit to the body. We've seen how he's been, and I could just only imagine once Fury catch up to him and start hitting with
shots. You mentioned to the body. That's what Caballel did. He broke him down to the body. And we've seen Fury, as we've mentioned, beat a lot of different guys, a lot of different ways, right? How does he fight this fight, do you think?
I think he's going to go straight at him and try to steamroll him the kind of way he fought Wilder the second time.
I actually think he's going to do opposite, and I think he's only going to do opposite because the inactivity. He's going to go in there thinking a bit, but once he realized he could put his hands on him whenever he wants, he's going to start using.
Now that's the person, Caballero. That's what we need to see. I like to see Fury versus Caballero.
Yeah,
right?
that's a little Ali Frazier.
That was actually in talks years ago.
There was. We need
that. I like
because
that.
now, I was lost. Now we found a location. We sent that location to him and signed that deal.
In the co-main feature, Conor Benn, coming off a career-best win over Chris Eubank Jr. in their rematch, takes on Regis Prograis. Cop.
Good fight.
This is a war on paper. But considering where they both are in their respective careers, is the expectation that Benn should score a knockout here?
I think if Conor Benn wants to continue the momentum he has from the fight of the year, loss to Chris Eubank, and then the dominant win he had in the rematch in November, he needs a knockout. I think he should get it late in the fight, maybe the last round of the 10-round fight. But I don't know, it's 50-50. Prograis, I know Prograis is a little past it, but he has a lot of heart. He's going to be game.
Experienced, he's tough and athletic. Can he push Benn into a long, tough fight, do you think?
Yes, I believe that. And I also believe he can do that because he's rejuvenated. He switched camps. He's been in Vegas working out. He's telling everybody how he's doing. In his last fight, he was going back and forth, toe-to-toe with, I believe it was it Diaz? Who did he fight in the last fight? Yes, that was a back and forth. Now, you guys know how I always talk about Conor here. I'm very big on him. And I think if he fight the way that he fought Chris Eubank Jr. in any of those fights, he give everybody trouble.
Nah, man, we tripping.
I know.
Conor been hot right now. He hot, a lot of momentum. Right? Fought some good fighters. I'm rolling with him.
Yeah, me too.
And Progress, I'm not saying nothing wrong with him. He's solid, right? I watched him fought Devin Haney. I didn't like that. Did a lot of talking, and he didn't do a lot of punching. When I watched Conor Benn, though, the way he talked, that's the way he fights.
Yeah, the Prograis who fought.
Yes, he come and get you.
He come and get you.
Come and get you.
The Prograis who fought and lost the unification at 140 pounds is a guy against Conor Benn who I would probably pick.
Yes,
because Benn punching too.
That guy has not been around for a while, but Prograis is athletic.
Yes, he is.
He's tough, and he can punch.
Yeah,
right?
And he's tough too. Yeah.
If you're an athletic, tough guy who can punch, fighters who have a certain quality, the danger is even if they're older, they can recapture it for a night, for a given night. Just like a great football player, maybe he can't do it every week, right? But in a given game, he can show flashes that remind you.
Yes.
Only thing about Conor is like he's the type of guy that looks like he don't take nothing easy. You get what I'm saying? So if I got a weak opponent, I'm still gonna train as hard as hell the same way. And I think having a dad that comes from that background, that's seen the best, right? That's did it all's already did it. I don't think he's gonna take this light easy. I think he's going there get the job done, and we move on. We'll be talking about another bigger fight for Conor Benn,
right?
And I think the weight is a factor here. I mean, Regis Prograis is 140 pounds. They're going up 10 pounds to 150. A lot of times when you see these guys move up in weight at this stage, it's trouble.
And you also look at the fact that Conor Benn, not only does he have the momentum, first of all, the first fight.
That does typically signify trouble in boxing if they're moving up in weight later on in age.
With Eubank was epic.
Yes, it was.
You couldn't even, if you saw it in a movie, you'd be like, come on. It's good movie, but it's not real.
Magazine fight of the year.
Yeah, right. But even with the father getting out and the whole thing, it's a movie. And the way it ended, even it's very rocky. He has this big rally in the last round, and it's not quite enough, but he loses the fight, but in a way wins the event, Ben, right? And then in the rematch, dominates. The first Ben win against the Eubank over 2 generations, right? He's riding this crest of this wave in England right now, especially. And so many big fights can be made, especially because he's seen as vulnerable. Other top fighters like to call him out because they think it's a big payday. Yes. He is being put in with Prograis because it's likely to make a good fight, like a really good action fight, that Ben can win and continue. But there's a danger in that. If Ben feels like, okay, here comes my gimme fight, if Prograis shows up to, on that special night.
I can't see him thinking like that. It's a lot riding on Ben. I think actually the pressure.
No, I think Ben's a real professional. He ain't even on that tape time.
Excuse my voice, guys. Voice from yelling. The pressure is actually on Ben.
Right.
Zuffa deal. Stuff with Netflix. This is really his stage.
To shine.
If he don't show up everybody's gonna be like, all of that for that?
Yeah.
That's a great point.
That's a great point.
You know
Eddie Hearn is going to be like this.
troll him.
Eddie's going to be like this. The pressure's on Conor, and I believe he's going to rise to the occasion.
There are some fighters you feel like when the lights are brightest, they show their best.
Yes.
And Conor strikes me as that kind of guy.
I agree, Max. Yes.
And I think he's loving this attention too. I've never been a player where, oh, they know me now? Oh, they know me now.
Watch this.
And you love that feeling. And if you watch the way that he conducts himself, he's respectful, but he loves getting this attention right now.
I'll tell you what else about that attention, which we don't talk about enough, and that makes my point. When you are the son of a famous athlete and then you play that same sport, you are often in the shadow and it's tough to escape.
That's true.
That goes for any sport. Ken Griffey Jr. was so great that people forget about Ken Griffey Sr., who was only an all-star. Right. But usually, a guy like Julio Cesar Chavez, good luck being his son. It is tough to his Shane Mosley Jr., right? Good fighter. He's headlining a Zuffa 6, but tough to escape Shane Mosley's shadow.
Come on now.
Conor Benn, look, Nigel Benn, so far through Conor's career, was a better fighter than Conor's.
Right.
Not that Conor hasn't been good, but Nigel was a lot. But he's kind of escaped his shadow.
Yes, he has. Yep.
When you hear Conor Benn, is the first thing you think Nigel Benn?
No, Conor Benn.
That's right. That's a great point.
That's a great point.
I hear Junior, I think Shane, I think Julio, right? But I don't think Nigel Benn first anymore.
Right.
Again, Fury versus Makhmudov on this Saturday on
the
Netflix. The fight is at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. There it is.
I don't know.
Y'all got a fair fight, man. I got the Gypsy King, man. To me, he could do no wrong.
Guys, there's the favorite. Ben and Progress just on the undercard. It's going to be a big atmosphere, big card. I mean, it's not on Netflix for no reason.
Yeah, I can't wait to be there. I'm flying out later tonight and I'm going to be in London tomorrow. It's going to be a great atmosphere. I think those are two good heavyweight fights on the undercard, too. Don't sleep on them. Fraser Clark was in a war with Wardley.
Yeah.
And then you have...
You're right. I gave him his best fight before the Parker fight.
And Jamie TKV also against Barack Pro. That's a good fight.
That's a very good fight.
Nice card.
Before we get to the break, let's take a look at Mike Coppinger's picks for the week. For the Ring Fantasy Pick'em game. This is a lot of fun. Mike, take it away.
All right, so we have Osley Iglesias, one of my favorite fighters under the radar in the sport. Big puncher at light heavyweight. He's going for, this is a title fight, and this is going to be, I'm going over a round 7 TKO against Pavel. I'm going to pull Max here. Salajian, I think. He's a tough fighter from Eastern Europe, but he's been there. He's easy there. He's there to be hit. Moving on, look, I love Tenshin Nasukawa. He has balls. He has charisma. He's
by the way, this is what I love about Japanese names. Phonetic.
Yeah.
Even I can't mess them up. Yes, but go ahead.
Yeah, look, I love this fight. Nasukawa is a firefighter, and Juan Francisco Estrada is one of the all-time greats. At 118 pounds, I think it's going to be a great fight. I'm going with Estrada in Japan by decision on the road. Moving on, Conor Benn, Regis Prograis. Like we said earlier, I'm going to go Benn getting the stoppage in the final round of this 10-round fight, similar to the final round in his last fight. And then Fury and Makhmudov, I'm going to say round 7. These would be, 6, 7, 8, 9, something like that, Max.
You can get involved in the action, too. Scan the QR code to play along with thousands of other users on the Rings Fantasy Pick'em game for cash prizes and a once-in-a-lifetime opportunities. Guys, anyone who plays fantasy sports, you think you love the sport you're watching, then you play, especially daily fantasy, right? If it's football, but that's what this is like. And it makes it better. You got a little skin in the game. Must be 18 years old to play. No purchase or entry fee required. See game rules and term conditions for full details. For those watching on YouTube, head over to DAZN to catch the rest of the show. Coming up, Deontay Wilder and Derek Chisora had a wild one on Saturday, and we're going to get into it. That's why I was holding off the Deontay talk. This is Inside the Ring.
Results?
Propose of exhibition that was long time ago, year after our first fight, but I didn't agree. Then I want to real fight. So he signed what I signed. He signed a real fight, and I signed a real fight. He got his advance, so there's no reason to make excuses of that.
And I told Ocho, I said, Ocho, think about it. You at this age, you gonna put that undefeated record on the line?
That's his whole thing, Ocho. The whole thing is undefeated.
Yeah.
The whole time. That's why he said it. No. Manny said, no. I want to be the one to put that one on there. I want to put that blemish on that record. No. This ain't no exhibition. Exhibition. I ain't playing.
You got the promotion saying this is a real fight. You got Floyd Mayweather saying, no, this is an exhibition. There's two things that are happening here. Either somebody messed up in paperwork or in communication or in some form of getting this fight together, misspoke to one of these guys, or Floyd Mayweather is trying to scam Netflix.
Manny Pacquiao reacts to rumors about a fallout with Floyd Mayweather, clarifying the talk about exhibition versus a real fight. He believes Floyd is making excuses to avoid it.
Everybody, the last few days, there's been rumors swirling around about you and Mayweather, and he's saying he's going to be an exhibition, you saying it's going to be a fight. And the second part of the question is, how would you face him for the second time after the first decision?
You know, that purpose of exhibition, that was long time ago, year after our first fight, but I didn't agree. And I want a real fight. So he signed what I signed. He signed a real fight, and I signed a real fight. He got his advantage.
I don't know if y'all have heard my take on this before, but I'm pretty sure this might all be a marketing ploy tactic to get more eyes on the fight once the time comes. Or maybe Floyd really is just going crazy and deep in money trouble. I don't think he's necessarily scamming. I don't think he has the wherewithal or the wits to scam.
And so there's no reason to make excuses of that. So that's true.
Well, we all look forward to that fight.
I mean, he signed a real fight, and he got his advance. So now makes excuses. No.
Shannon Sharp broke down the situation, calling it a major oversight by Floyd's team. He questioned how 3 signed agreements and advance payments could be ignored or mishandled.
That the potential rematch with Manny Pacquiao would only be an exhibition. Jasper Torres, CEO's manager, CEO of Manny Pacquiao Promotion, and the event producer fired back, strongly opposing, saying Floyd is in breach of the contract. Floyd signed not 1, not 2, but 3 different agreements on 3 different dates, 2 different parties that ultimately got intertwined in a month of January, and this is all related to his return to professional boxing.
And he also took out a cash advance on that payment, and he has 2 fights in front of that, so he probably took out cash advances on those fights as well.
First one, October 24th. The second one, November the 6th. The third one, December 14th. He received money for all 3 agreements when he signed them. Not only that, but he has taken out an advance on his purse to fight Pacquiao.
Shannon Sharp questioned the oversight, relaying Pacquiao's stance. If Floyd feared putting his record on the line, he should have never signed. Sharp stressed Manny was never the one afraid.
That's your ass. Hold on, Ojo, hold on. Manny Pacquiao said he does not want to put the record, if he's scared not to put the record on the line, professional boxing match, not only should they have never executed these agreements, this is what Pacquiao manager said. If he's scared of Manny and does not want to put the record on the line in a professional boxing match, not only should he have never executed these agreements, but he should have just come right out and said because Manny ain't scared.
Wade Clemens pointed out that Floyd Mayweather said exhibition 3 times in one sentence. That was no accident. He added that Floyd chose Manny Pacquiao because a professional fight between them still brings blockbuster attention, but now Floyd is trying to change the terms.
Not once, not twice, but 3 times in that sentence, Floyd Mayweather said the word exhibition. That is not by mistake, folks. That's supposed to be a professional fight that Floyd is coming out and deliberately saying, it's not a professional fight. It's an exhibition. I'm going to come out, have some fun, and entertain. Someone in chat asked, out of all people, why choose Manny? What is it about Manny? He chose Manny because Manny brings in this, especially when you attach Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather to an actual pro fight, even at their age now. This brings a bit of that blockbuster back. Let's not forget, this is the highest selling pay-per-view fight in the history of combat sports. They did over 4 million pay-per-view buys. So, of course, Floyd would want to pick Manny. And yes, the pro aspect of it does sell because that's Floyd putting his pro record on the line. Here's the weird part about it. Floyd is outright saying it's an exhibition. It was promoted as a pro fight, and now things are going to get even crazier because Manny Pacquiao's like, no, it's not an exhibition. It's a pro fight.
Wade Clemens added that it would be one of the most unprofessional things imaginable, or Floyd Mayweather is trying to scam Netflix.
One of the most unprofessional things you could do, not trying to point the gun on Netflix or whoever else put this together, but something is off. Something's completely off because you got one person saying, it's a real fight. You got the promotion saying, this is a real fight. You got Floyd Mayweather saying, no, this is an exhibition. There's two things that are happening here. Either somebody messed up in paperwork or in communication or in some form of getting this fight together, misspoke to one of these guys, or Floyd Mayweather is trying to scam Netflix.
Wade Clemens further explained that Floyd Mayweather reportedly took a cash advance for the Pacquiao rematch, then undermined his own promotion to protect his 50-0 record while still making his money.
That is the only two things that can be possible here. Because we then get the report, as of yesterday, that Floyd Mayweather has already taken a cash advance payment of his purse for the upcoming Manny Pacquiao rematch on Netflix, despite it currently being in jeopardy. I don't even know how that's possible. Who gave him a cash advance before they even got to the fight? I understand like paying some up front to secure the fight, but paying everything? Maybe it's not what it is. Maybe the cash advance is like partial. But still, what? So if this is to be believed, and this is via ESPN, this is not, random Twitter person reporting this. I think Mike Coppinger also reported the same thing. If this is to be believed, Floyd took a cash advance and then undermined the promotion of his own fight to try to protect his 50-0 record and still make a bag.
Oscar De La Hoya has now stepped forward, accusing Floyd Mayweather Jr. of hiding behind his perfect 50-0 record out of fear. Insisting the world sees Mayweather's reluctance to pursue a true rematch, De La Hoya even claimed that, in their original fight,
all the news on Mayweather, Pacquiao, potentially falling apart. I mean, I have to say this, Mayweather, come on, dude. Fight a real fight. You're still trying to protect your O. Yes, you're 50-0 on paper, but people know you've lost. Your own father said you lost against me back when we fought. And what's crazy is that people don't know that we had a rematch clause for 1 year. And what do? Your CS retires for 1 year and 1 day. Bro, ever since I got beat up by Manny Pacquiao in my last fight, I've wanted to fight every single day, but I couldn't because I wasn't right.
Oscar De La Hoya didn't hold back, mocking Floyd Mayweather Jr. for ducking a real fight with Manny Pacquiao. But Floyd conveniently retired instead, protecting that zero at all costs. Now Oscar claims he's ready for a rematch himself, even willing to take on Jake Paul, while calling Floyd out as someone terrified of a true showdown with Manny.
Physically, emotionally, I just wasn't right. All that depression, all that that I had within my spirit. But now these last 5 years, I've put in the work, man. Woo! I did a lot of work and I feel happy. I feel at peace. And you know what? A man at peace is a dangerous fucking man. I can fucking take on King Kong if I want and beat his ass. I'll even fight Jake Paul. Let's go!
All of this has put Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s mental state under a microscope. Questions are mounting over whether he's ducking Manny Pacquiao because of the contract mess, or if something deeper is going on. According to Showbiz the Adult, who spoke with Mayweather's son, Money Mayweather may simply not feel emotionally or spiritually ready for a real professional fight right now.
How do you beat Manny Pacquiao on the second go around?
We both winners. Because it's an exhibition, so we're both winners.
Listen, I told you guys, having it be a professional fight didn't make sense. Be 51-0, 50-1. Floyd Mayweather was going to touch and play with his legacy like that. On top of that, I had Manny winning that fight. I know Floyd was looking good in the gym because his son said something to me on Instagram, said, you don't know how my dad is looking. But spiritually, it's just hard, bro. Just like a pro fight with Manny. Why? Manny's insane. He's driven by the comeback, the revenge, and all that. Floyd is in a far more confident space. He won the big fight. He could go on the rest of his life chilling. I don't see Floyd as ducking it. It just doesn't make sense.
Now, Jazz Mather has dropped an ultimatum on Floyd Mayweather Jr., warning that he is already in breach of contract and facing serious consequences. Mather stressed the violations go beyond one problem, pointing to the scheduled bout with Greek kickboxer Mike Zambides, and gave Floyd just 1 day to clean it up before legal action moves forward.
Right now, he's in the breach. He's in a breach. He has to provide, some form of acknowledgement that he is going to cure this breach by tomorrow. End of business day, and if there's no acknowledgement that he intends on curing these multiple breaches, I'm not just saying one. I mean, listen, one of the breaches in there is his Greece fight that he's posting, his exhibition against the Greece fighter, the Greek fighter. Like, he can't do that. He can't do that fight. It's a direct breach of this contract. So he has to provide a notice that he's willing to cure. His team has to provide that. And if they don't, then it's next steps.
Jazz Mather then went even further, presenting what many view as undeniable proof of the agreement, reading the contract terms allowed to confirm the rematch is professional and officially sanctioned.
Let me read out something to you here, okay? The main event bout of the boxing program will be a boxing match between Manny Pacquiao and Mayweather. The match will be a professional and sanctioned match and shall count on the official professional records of Mayweather and Pacquiao, and the final rules for which shall be subject to the mutual agreement of Pacquiao and Mayweather and subject to further approval of Netflix.
Okay, so I don't hear exhibition nowhere near in that statement.
The word professional is in this contract 11 times.
Oh, wow.
Another part, and which will be a professional and sanctioned boxing match and shall count on the official professional records of Mayweather and Pacquiao.
All of this has only reinforced the notion that Floyd is broke. Jazz Mather has now issued an ultimatum the moment Floyd signed a deal with Mike Zambides.
I mean, it's unfortunate that it's come to what it's come to. Obviously, when we first heard about him having a 3-fight deal, we understood why he's having a 3-fight deal. I gave my name to people that he could have fought, that could have helped him if he was in financial crisis and needed to recoup some of that money back. And Manny Pacquiao was one of the names. It's crazy that it's even got to this point. I don't even know what to think about it at this point. Obviously, signing multiple deals and getting in advance and having them pay you ahead of the fight. I mean, like, is that normal? Does that happen?
Floyd Mayweather Jr. is in a deep predicament. Boxing pundits, including Paulie Malignaggi, have sharpened their critiques, noting that while Mayweather isn't technically bankrupt, he is dangerously over-leveraged, which makes matters far more complex.
Woes of Mayweather, as far as him wanting to come back and make a bag of money, then I think the fight has to happen regardless. What other direction can you go if you're Floyd and if you really are in these kind of positions, I've been the one to say it. I don't say that Floyd is broke. I think people overuse that word. I think he's likely over-leveraged. And there's a difference between being over-leveraged and being broke. Being over-leveraged, if you're not careful, can lead you to being broke. But being over-leveraged also you can just rebound and make a bag of money. And now you're perfectly leveraged, then you're fine. And you still have all that stuff that you had before, So I think if that's the case, regardless, I think Floyd probably may be forced to do it the way Netflix decides to do it.
Even so, Paulie Malignaggi believes Floyd Mayweather Jr. genuinely wants the fight to be a real, competitive showdown simply because official bouts generate enormous income. He notes that talks remain active, with several specifics still unresolved.
But we'll see. We'll see how things go on the inside. These are inner negotiations. I think it's more interesting if it is a real fight, first and foremost, with gambling being legal in the United States now, all over the United States. It brings in that much more revenue because you can gamble on a real fight. You cannot. There's no gambling on an exhibition. There's no real winner and loser in an exhibition. So that makes it very, very different, and that gives the image of the fight, the branding of the fight, a whole new vibe if it's a real fight as opposed to if it's an exhibition. So, you know, a lot to be discussed here before this thing goes on.
The turmoil surrounding Floyd Mayweather Jr. only continues to escalate. Newly surfaced reports reveal he now faces multiple legal battles, including a Miami jeweler demanding $1.375 million for high-end watches and diamond chains, as well as claims of unpaid rent in Manhattan.
Boxing legend Floyd Mayweather Jr. is facing another lawsuit, this time from a high-end Miami jeweler claiming he owes $1.375 million for luxury watches and chains. According to court filings, Mayweather allegedly purchased 27 watches and 15 chains, totaling $1.675 million from Adre's Jewelry last August, but paid just $300,000. 5 checks reportedly bounced. The lawsuit follows other recent legal issues, including a New York claim alleging he owes $330,000 in unpaid rent on a Manhattan penthouse, along with a separate federal case in South Florida involving a reported $4 million jewelry dispute. The 50-0 former champion is scheduled to return to the ring in September for a rematch against Manny Pacquiao.
Beyond the conflicting claims about exhibition versus professional rules, the situation has reportedly escalated to a legal level. Netflix could be preparing to take legal action against Floyd Mayweather Jr. over an alleged contract violation, once again shining a light on his shaky post-retirement finances.
Listen, I don't know anything about no networks doing my. I used to have problems with HBO because we had problems. It was a promoter problem. But the fact is, it's his life to live it the way he should live it. You know, it may not be the right life, but it's his life to live the way he wants. And nobody could say anything about it. They're making a big joke about his life and he owes money. He's a human being. He makes mistakes. People don't understand it's the art in saving money. You know, you handle money, you don't understand the art of saving money, you're screwed. And you could be anybody. You could be a little kid. You could be the smartest person in the world. It's an art in handling money. If you can't master that art, you're screwed.
Manny Pacquiao's dream was never just for himself. It was to leave a lasting mark for the next generation. His true goal, to inspire, not for recognition, but for impact.
Not for my own, you know, my dream in life is to create a legacy that it will be remembered by the next generation. You know, that's my dream in life. Of course, to be an inspiration to everyone.
For a fighter who built his brand on perfect precision and financial dominance, the cracks are now impossible to ignore. Whether Floyd Mayweather Jr. can settle his debts, salvage his legacy, and step back into the ring remains the biggest question hanging over his name. Like and subscribe to stay locked in on all the latest boxing news, controversies, and fight updates.
The era of Caucasus wrestlers dominating the sport may be coming to an end.
The last couple years, they changed a little bit politics, and I don't like this.
For the last decade, fighters from Dagestan, Chechnya, and the wider Caucasus stormed into the UFC. And the truth is, their great entrance into MMA was unavoidable. The region remains a powerhouse, consistently producing elite talent in wrestling, sambo, and other martial arts.
The only reason why I feel like those guys do lose is obviously somebody's better than them, but if they gas out because they're overtrained.
But with recent business changes in the UFC, the demand for wrestling-heavy Dagestanis and the prospect of a new Khabib may be fading.
When you look at Paramount Plus, right, this new deal that we're going into, you get to watch all the UFC programming on there, no pay-per-view anymore.
And this shift could mark the end of Caucasus dominance in the UFC. Their downfall may not come inside the octagon at the hands of another fighter, but due to politics and an industry that is constantly shifting to entertainment. To understand how we got here, we need to go back to how the Caucasus came to dominate the UFC in the first place. MMA has undergone several cycles as it has matured over the years. At the very beginning, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu dominated the sport with guys like Royce and Rickson Gracie. Back then, no other martial arts could really deal with this new form of grappling entering North America.
No one knew what the best martial art was. And the idea was like, there was all these martial arts that are running around independently, and they were all claiming that they had the best technique, and let's see what happens. And Royce Gracie was the one who represented jiu-jitsu and went out there and beat all these people with superior technique and superior strategy.
A few years went by, and the golden age of American wrestlers in the UFC began to take place. Now more equipped to deal with the dangers of BJJ, wrestlers like Mark Coleman, Randy Couture, and Matt Hughes used takedown opponents, especially under non-pride rules.
There was the Mark Coleman era when Mark Coleman was smashing everybody and he was 255 pounds, solid muscle.
By the mid-2000s, strikers with good takedown defense began taking over. The sprawl and brawl era, dominated by guys like Chuck Liddell, paved the way for even more technical strikers like Anderson Silva to take center stage of global MMA. By that time, fighters who embodied the idea of really mixing the martial arts took over. Silva himself was one of the best strikers we've ever seen, yet he also possessed strong grappling skills. John Jones, primarily a wrestler, revolutionized the way grappling and striking were blended in MMA. Complete fighters like GSP and Mighty Mouse ruling the divisions made it seem like the sport had already been figured out.
Demetrius Johnson is one of the 5 greatest fighters in the history of the sport. And in his own division, he's also a sort of pioneer. He's also maybe the most complete pound for pound fighter of all time. If we're actually saying who should be pound for pound number 1 all time, not in your accomplishments, right? But just sort of like your complete game.
To become one of the greats, a fighter had to be competent in all areas of the game. The days of one-dimensional specialists dominating were over, and while that remains true to an extent, an up-and-coming lightweight would prove that dominance could still come from a single perfected skill set.
You talk to Frankie, talk to Eddie Alvarez. I go, how hard is it to take down barbos? They go, oh, it's damn near impossible in training. Like, we don't get them down very easily, and they're badasses.
Right.
So you go, what Khabib did, we didn't think he was going to be able to do. And if you look at that 3rd round when Barbosa's like, he gets taken down and he's like kind of cage crawling, you look at his face, he looks like, get me the out of here.
Yeah.
Like, there's sheer panic.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between Khabib and the rest of these fighters.
Outside of a closely contested match with Gleison Chibao, Nurmagomedov ran through everybody in the lightweight division. While weight issues and injuries prevented him from getting the belt sooner, there's good reason to believe he was the best lightweight on the planet even years before he won the belt. He completely dominated Rafael Dos Anjos only a year before RDA himself became a champion. The rest of the story you already probably know. Khabib won the title, defended multiple times, and headlined the biggest pay-per-view card in history against Conor McGregor. And what he built in the sport wasn't just a championship reign, but a movement that inspired an entire community of Caucasus fighters to follow his blueprint.
They're trying to get to the UFC. They want to like have a contract. Like that was what Abu Bakr said. One of Khabib's brothers was saying the goal is to like get a UFC contract here in Dagestan. Like that's all so they're all going to be working hella hard.
Because they're seeing what Khabib did, they're seeing what Islam's done.
29-0, like you're going to want to be that.
The region was never short of talented fighters, but what Nurmagomedov laid out was the path for fighters from that region to reach the very top of MMA. And according to recent moves by the UFC, Caucasus wrestlers may become the first cycle of MMA to end not because the sport evolved past them, but because of management decisions. Islam Makhachev and Khamzat Chimaev participated in 2 of the most high-profile title fights of 2025. Khamzat fought and won the middleweight title against Ricketts Duplessis, and Islam went up a division to beat Jack Della Maddalena and win the welterweight belt. And funnily enough, the 2 performances were pretty similar. Both of them took down and dominated their opponents at will. By round 2 of both fights, it was clear there was a huge grappling mismatch between the 2 Russian challengers and the champions. But even with a clear superiority in the fight, both Islam and Khamzat were very timid and risk-averse.
This control is amazing, but it's only for control. You're not advancing the fight. And to me, if you're that good over the neck, that guy, which by the way is amazing that he took a pound for pound guy and did that to him. But if the difference between me and that guy is like that much, brother, it's time to open up a little bit.
It would be crazy to consider Islam and Khamzat boring fighters. Islam has mostly finishes, while Khamzat looks like a wrecking machine in most of his fights. In a sense, both showed such dominance that neither of them was ever in any danger. And that may be exactly the problem. For hardcore fans, the skills it took to dominate the top athletes of the sport remain impressive. At the same time, this type of performance does open the path for some criticism.
I will say this, though. Very impressive performance from Khamzat Chimaev. The most dull thing I've ever seen in my life in a championship fight. Pathetic. For a guy talking about kill everybody, I kill everybody, smash everybody. No, nah, I'm good off that now.
The rabbit hole goes even deeper when accounting for the fact that Islam and Khamzat are 2 of the most popular fighters from that region. The rest of them tend to go unnoticed with the general audience. at least for the most part. And here's the big first problem in promoting fighters from that region. After all, there is an evident cultural clash with the Western way of promoting fights, because fighters tend not to be very good or even interested in trash talking.
I feel very bad for US promotions, very, very bad, because there is so many hungry fighters coming. And they don't like to talk. They don't like trash talk. They just come, smash people, and take money, you know? And US promotions, they don't like this. They like trash talking. They like entertainment.
And don't get it mistaken, the UFC has had its share of lackluster, yet dominant fighters in the past. GSP was often criticized as a boring champion in his time, especially when compared to what Anderson Silva and John Jones were doing. And today, St. Pierre is considered one of the greatest of all time. But for the UFC, from a business perspective, that's where the difference lies. Back then, in the GSP era, the business model was completely different. The UFC was still fighting to prove itself as a relevant sports organization, and even then, Dana White and the Fertitta brothers had only themselves to answer to. And while in that time, the UFC had billions of potential customers worldwide, nowadays that number has been narrowed down dramatically.
Paramount is the customer. They have purchased for an extreme amount of money the broadcast rights for the UFC. And in every other facet of business across the globe, in any industry, when you are the one paying money to somebody else, you get to dictate certain things. You get to have demands.
Let alone the fact that GSP gave the promotion entry to a highly valuable market in Canada. Meanwhile, the Caucasus, while large in population, is not exactly paramount in the UFC's target audience. At the moment, the organization can't even properly enter the region because of the Russia-Ukraine war. The apparent fix has been using these fighters to promote Abu Dhabi due to their Muslim identity and cultural ties. But even that solution has limits. Abu Dhabi is not a massive consumer market like Canada, Brazil, or the UK. It's more of a symbolic and strategic partner. And now, under the Paramount era, the issue could become even more glaring. Sure, Islam, Habib, and Hamzat are fan favorites, but other guys in the roster like Ankalaev, Umar, and Evloev have just as good a shot of getting the belt while carrying far less star power. Even worse, their ascension would mean the decline of some of the UFC's favorites like Alex Pereira, Sean O'Malley, and Volkanovski, superstars in the sport with real pull for the Western audience. And we almost saw that becoming a reality at light heavyweight.
This is obviously something that was possible. This is something that we all talked about going in, the UFC's star problem and how big of a issue this would be if it went this way, if this result actually materialized. And now here we are staring at Magomed Ankalaev as a light heavyweight champion. And guys, don't listen to me. Don't believe me when I tell you that this is a nightmare. Just look at the UFC's actions. They did everything in their power not to give this guy a title shot because they did not want to face the reality of him being a champion. Same situation with Bilal Muhammad, and the same situation ended up happening.
It is likely no coincidence that guys like Sarukian and Evloev are being sidelined for the belt at this moment. While Dana White will never say it publicly, the pattern speaks for itself.
UFC trying to give this shot for other person, but I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. And if you have more deserved contender for the title, just let me test him. Yeah, if you don't give me a title, just give me your contenders. Okay, I'm here to test your guys, UFC.
Evloev is the #1 contender at featherweight. He's undefeated and 9-0 in the UFC. Even so, he got bypassed by Diego Lopez, a guy who had a chance for the belt only a year ago and is the very last opponent of current champion Alexander Volkanovski. Hardcore fans see in Evloev the talent and merit to fight for the title, but casuals may not even know the guy. Meanwhile, Paramount and the UFC may see a fighter who doesn't generate much buzz, yet has the tools to keep the belt for years. And while guys like Evloev keep being lowballed for a chance for the belt, the UFC is making sure fewer challengers from the Caucasus even get close to championship gold. Muhammad Makaev managed to become one of the only fighters to leave the UFC undefeated. When he came up, the British Dagestani flyweight was often seen as a future champion. Had he continued, he probably would have been. In his last UFC fight, he beat none other than Manel Kape, the most likely title challenger. It was the last fight in his contract. As a young prospect with the skills to become a champ, one would think the organization would do everything to keep him. Well, they didn't.
Makaev is a guy that you'd want to bring back to the UFC.
UFC? Because he said his contract is totally done now.
Yeah, he is. He's under contract. He's not under contract anymore.
Okay. But would you be interested in, keeping him around?
I think the PFL is going to get a great undefeated guy.
Really?
Good luck to him.
Sure, Makhaev's behavior outside the cage, like causing a stir during fight week, gave the UFC plenty of reasons to hesitate. But even so, it's hard to imagine they'd let him go if the organization valued his fighting style and ability to pull numbers. And Makhaev isn't the only one. Rinat Fakhretdinov was another undefeated UFC fighter who didn't get a new contract offer.
UFC нужны бойцы, которых они смогут продать, которые смогут заработать, и Ренат просто выходил, побеждал.
Even the hiring process changed in the last few years. Russia currently ranks third in total UFC fighters by country. In the 2010s, we saw a real surge of Caucasus fighters joining the UFC. The move resulted in several champions, including guys like Merab, Makhachev, Chimaev, and, of course, Khabib. But now, the pipeline looks very different.
In my gym, I have couple gyms in Dagestan, and there is 500 amateur guys, and they all want to be like Khabib. They all want to be like champion. They all want to take over in the world, and they all good. What we gonna do with them? Like, how you gonna stop? It's very hard. Or just don't sign them. It's like right now I see some promotion, they follow the politics, they just don't sign them because they're tired. Because all Magomedov, Nurmagomedov, they jump to the UFC and they take over.
The UFC signed 52 athletes in the latter half of 2025, and out of that, only one Caucasus fighter was included, Magomed Zainukov, also known as John Pork, and he isn't even a wrestler, he's a Muay Thai champion. Meanwhile, promising wrestlers from that region ended up fighting elsewhere like the PFL or One Championship. This shift actually happened a lot earlier. Since 2023, there have been barely any wrestlers signed, while for the most part, the only Caucasus fighters who got a UFC contract are primarily strikers.
Right now with so many young fighters, they good, 10, 15 and all, undefeated, world champions, amateur and professional, and they don't want to sign them because they need somebody who talking, who drinking, who show up, all this stuff. They understand. they want these kind of fighters. But in one way, like I say, I understand. But in end of the day, this is sport, best versus best.
Under the Paramount era, there are enough signs to believe the UFC is prioritizing marketability over meritocracy. Western audiences, trash talk, and pay-per-view potential now matter more than wins and losses. And for an entire generation of Dagestani wrestlers following Khabib's blueprint, the door to the UFC may be closing for good. While wrestlers from places like Dagestan look to be on their way out, fighters who play ball with the company are getting the rewards. So if you'd like to learn about the 7 levels of industry plants in the UFC, check out this video next.
There's 5 of you. I
do have to
promise.
beat him. Saber, Jack, Tiger.
What, 47? 44.
But I will fight him at like 154.
What?
I told you for the right fight.
154?
I swear I will fight him.
Where you been? Where you been my whole life? That's the street fight right there. That's a thoroughbred. Been me, you feel me from the broke days in the alleyways, McLaren on the freeways. I'm still bitch, you feel me? She is too chopped to be in the VIP. She is too chopped and that's it. And that bitch gotta go from her broke base to a fake chain. I mean, let's stop all the bullshit. Let's stop all the bullshit. Okay, now listen, a few of you guys hit me up on X, gave a few responses asking me if I saw the back and forth between Shakur Stevenson and Ryan Garcia. They went back and forth on X. Okay, yada, yada, yada. No big deal. But Shakur Stevenson, he called Ryan Garcia a liar because Ryan Garcia is talking about them meeting at 147, no rehydration. Shakur Stevenson said, hey, you said that you'll meet me at 140, even 144. But now you're talking about 147. And Shakur Stevenson says, listen, just admit it, bro. You a damn liar. Hit the Tyson Bell. Well, listen, while you guys are asking me how I feel about this situation, I'm just going to throw it out there. Shakur Stevenson is my guy. That's my brother. Ryan Garcia, he's my guy. That's my brother.
but still, I'm going to say this in front of both of you guys and the entire war room. Both of y'all, some damn liars. Listen, bro, listen, it is rich for Shakur Stevenson to call Ryan Garcia a lie, which he did when he lied too. Y'all both some damn liars, and that's the black. Because I can prove it. Ryan Garcia did say, like Shakur Stevenson said, he did say that he'll fight him at 140, said it was always his plan to go down to 140. And Shakur Stevenson was like, bet, then let's go, champ. Let's run it. Teach a man how to squabble. Ryan Garcia even furthermore said that, hell, listen, I'll fight him at 144. I want Shakur Stevenson next after Mario Barrios.
But it's okay. We're not even worried about him. I really want to fight Shakur.
Even though Ryan Garcia should really be fighting my boy Rolly Romero. That's who he really should be fighting.
No, we need that Haney fight too, though.
No, I know. That's always going to be there, though. But that's who I want to fight. I want to go from Barrios to Shakur.
Oh, like straight to it.
Yeah.
At what, 47?
44.
You're making 44.
I'll make a whole division called 44. Me and Shakur.
Busted. Cap gun. Salary cap. Sir Cap a lot. Kaepernick, all the damn caps. That's Ryan Garcia. But Shakur Stevenson, let's go on this marathon of Shakur Stevenson caps.
Me and you are close to the same size.
Yeah, we
I'm
ain't close
looking
to the
at
same
you,
size.
bro.
We ain't close to the same size.
Bro,
we ain't close to the same. All right, you got to 160 then.
No, fuck
That's-
no.
that's
I'll
what
fight
I'm
you
saying.
at
We ain't the same
147.
size. Listen, I'll come back down and fight you at 147 in November.
November, yeah. I'm
Done.
down.
Done. I'll fight you at
We can take the
147.
fight. I'm down.
I'll fight you at 147.
Look.
No. I don't hear no excuses. I don't
I'm
hear no
not making, I'm
excuses.
saying,
I
but look,
back to hear
after
it.
I beat you, just tell me I'm great. Yo, I'm so good at this shit. So it's like I could fight at 35, 40. I may give a little
47?
try at 47, just a little try,
Little
because I'm
try.
little.
Right.
So I'm gonna give it my shot, but like truthfully, I'm not a 47 pounder, but I'm so good to where
You could deal with that.
I could
with the big,
carry out
bigger
in
guys.
these weight classes. So yeah.
So
He not even lying.
you will have a rehydration clause at 140?
No, I don't want a rehydration clause.
Oh, you don't. So if he comes down to 140, you don't want the rehydration clause. Only if he comes down to 40. Only if he comes down to 47, you have to go up to 47. Do you want the clause, or you don't want the clause at all?
I only want the clause if I go up to 147, but I don't plan on going up. So at the end of the day, I don't need the clause. We can fight at 140.
You think that man can make 140, Shakur? Honestly.
I mean, I'm just telling you off of his words.
No, I know what he's
We
saying.
can't assume that he can't make 140. He said he can as long as he lock in and take it serious. I mean, I will go there for the right fights. Like I just watched Conor Benn. I like Conor Benn too.
Yeah.
No disrespect
He
to him.
tough.
But I will fight him at like 154.
What?
I told you for the right fight.
154?
I swear I will fight him.
Kind of tough, man. He throws hard punches.
Like I said, for the right fights, I'll move up. But the thing that I said, even with Conor Benn, I would want the same weight clause as he put on Eubank.
Yeah.
And that's what I want come fight night with Conor Benn. Now, when I go up to 47 with Devin, is he's gonna allow the same weight clause? Like it becomes a business.
Right.
Like how we gonna do this fight? And if he do shit, let's lock in, gang.
Brother, I don't know how big or small Shakur Stevenson is right now. He called Ryan Garcia small. He said Conor Benn was small. Shakur Stevenson even told Teofimo Lopez, I'm bigger than you thought. I don't even know what size. He's like Adam. He's like the Ant-Man. He can be a giant. He can be tiny. You can't see him. He could go down to a level where it's just, I mean, damn, he could travel through space and time and shit. Right? That's his special power. Shakur Stevenson, we don't know what weight class. He said that he's ready to go to 135 or some shit. Who's next over there and all that stuff. Where he's gonna remain at 140. So this is how I feel about this situation. Overall, both cap. And really, I think they just trying to stir it up, get everybody hyped up. I think they will meet each other at some point, but they just talking jive. I'm not really into the jive. But if you guys wanted to know how I feel about the back and forth between Ryan Garcia and Shakur Stevenson, since I have a relationship with both those brothers, I think they're cool guys. They both cap. All right, let's talk about what I'm really excited about. Last night, you know, you guys saw that we in the zone war room. I did my live stream commentary of the Elmo Williams and Carlos Adames fight. Carlos Adames remaining champion. But what really stuck out to me was this guy, Omari Jones. You guys heard me last night compare him to some, I'm talking about top of the line fighters in the 90s. Boy, he just reminds me of the G-Man. Like the G-Man, without the G-Man power and tenacity, the G-Man, Michael Nunn, and that's him. Omari Jones is a 90s fighter. Everywhere from his stature to his technique, right? His footwork, even his hairstyle and how he wear his facial hair. The guy is wearing the pinstripe Hardaway Orlando Magic trunks. The guy is a complete throwback fighter. Having the dexterity and just the looseness and the bouncing around, you know, the jab, just kind of the mobility of Michael second to none. But he still has like that rangy power, that scary power. Not as great as the G-Man, but when you look at the G-Man and you look at Omari Jones, you can't help but to see, man, this guy reminds me of the G-Man. He is a blend between Michael second to none and the G-Man.
He gets some rounds in. Jones says he wants to end it as quick as possible, and he just dropped the two.
Sullivan missing with the right. Well, again, snapping the head back of Sullivan. McClellan does with the jabs. Well, the more we talk to, the right hand staggers him. And another one, and down he goes. Lights on, that's it. 40 seconds into the fight, Gerald McClellan with the
past first-time experience, but that was a great first-time experience for Omari Jones.
And that's going to do it.
Again. Well, within Matchroom, they certainly have hope that they can get there at some point down the line.
Oh, yeah, that's two. The delayed reaction shot. He's swelling fast.
5, 6, a shot 7 to the left eye. He got poked in the eye. It was a straight punch. Referee gonna wave it up. I don't know. Look.
And listen, DAZN, I want to get to know this guy. I want the War Room to get some interviews with this guy, his team and everything. I want to see, is that intentional? Right. I mean, this guy's the Olympic bronze medalist, right? He just, well, I think in Paris, right? Just came from an Olympic bronze medalist. The guy, I think he has everything it takes as far as potential to be a current great fighter. If you start, you know, he start getting those wins and that experience and all those things, I think in the next 3-4 years, we'll be talking about him the way we talk about many of the current fantastic fighters today. Let's look at the highlights of his fight last night and let me know how you feel in the comments below. Showbiz Lil Dope, I'm out.
Omari Jones, 5 wins, 4 knockouts, taking on Gomez, who's 5'7" and 32 years old. All right, Omari Jones, you saw that side. He's half holy, half hood, Sergio. Whatever you want, the good boy or the bad boy, he's got it. He's taking on Christian Gomez, who said, man, I'm going to be more aggressive and go for the kill like I did earlier in my career. I'm not here to outbox anybody. I'm here to beat him up. 8 rounds, Jones and Gomez in the light middleweight division.
Right off the bat, Jones crossing the center of the ring, making it seem like this is my territory, this is my ring tonight.
I want you to watch how Jones posts out his front lead hand and ranges before he even throws the jab. That's called the post.
Do not invade my territory.
Jones 6 inches taller than Christian Gomez, and he's also 9 years younger.
He definitely doesn't seem like 6 inches tall.
You know, Omari Jones came into the pro ranks with a reputation of a boxer. It's what guided him to that Olympic bronze medal.
It's a nice little on-stream surprise.
But he has shown great power early in his career.
A great jack to take you around the world. That's the saying in boxing.
5 wins have come by knockout to the point where he's surprised
Notice how Gomez is just there absorbing and can't really do anything because he can't get in within the range.
himself and how strong he's been in professional ranks. Whenever you have length and height and reach and patience and technique, then you can unleash that power. Most power punches in boxing are taught
Has Gomez touched him yet?
on lean, you know, so it's not really muscle.
Ninote absorbing some body shots. This is not the strategy we thought we were going to see from him. He promised us he was going to go from the window to the wall, Sergio.
He's getting the door slam with that jab right now, right in his face. That right hand's getting closer and closer to landing because he can't compete. Gomez cannot compete with the length and the sharp punching of Amari Jones.
That's all it is, really, to understand the feet and distance.
Well, I don't know what Gomez's game plan was coming in, but he hasn't implemented any of it. I wouldn't even call it a sparring session up to this point. This is a guy hitting a punching bag.
Literally, that's a very accurate description.
Yeah, the one thing you thought he couldn't do is stand at range and eat punches from Amari Jones.
Jones is not giving him that.
I don't think he's here to do anything, Sergio. I think he's here to go the full 8-round distance. He told us this week he had to get on the inside. He's made no effort so far to get on the inside.
But look, that's what I'm talking about. See that left hand? There we go. He is trying to do something, Maddox. He's catching and countering. He threw an uppercut earlier. He can't compete with the high lane speed or power of Amari Jones, so he just has to settle for one shot.
Gomez has not landed a power punch at all.
And that's the beauty of Jones.
Yeah.
Good right hand right there by Jones.
At this point, he's just trying not to get hurt.
The best thing I was impressed with this kid in the fighter meeting when we spoke to him, I told him to push these three in order. Power, technique, and speed. In your order, what's more important in the hierarchy in boxing? He said, speed number 1, technique number 2, power number 3. I love hearing that from a 22-year-old. Excuse me, 23-year-old.
Well, Gomez said, look, I have to hurt him early, make him feel my power. I need to reduce his confidence. He has not done that at all. I wouldn't count Zurdo Ramirez out. That man can take a lot of punishment and can dish it back as well. That's going to be a must-see fight May 2nd.
Good body shot there from Amari Jones. Just keep sneaking those body shots downstairs. Get that guard down. Just be able to slip that straight right hand in a few times in this round. Try to get Gomez thinking a little bit so you can open yourself up.
Looks like a small cut has opened up on the left eye of Gomez. Here's Chris Mannix's scorecard. I don't think we're going to see any surprises.
Now 40-36 in favor of Amari Jones. He's dominating behind that stick. Brilliant jabbing throughout the course of this fight. Gomez isn't doing anything. Like, he has the occasional overhand right that he tries to land. But his plan, as he told us, was to get inside and touch the body of Amari Jones. And I'd be surprised if he landed more than 1 or 2 body shots.
It's Amari that's actually spearing him down to the gut, and that continues stopping Gomez in his track anytime he does get in that front door. That long jab, that long spear, and it's a sharp punch, man. That jab is very, very potent by Amari Jones. There it is, and even exchanging it with his right hand.
Can Gomez be the first to not go down?
I agree with Maddox on this one. I think Amari has controlled and softened up Gomez enough to take a little bit more chances. You know, to go away from this simple jab and 1-2. Try to go around the guard with some hooks and be responsible about it, because anytime you're gonna throw a hook, you can bet Gomez is gonna try to catch you with the same punch, you know, punching with you. So check that and block that hook and come right back. Check and counter.
And we've seen a diversity of Amari Jones' punches over his last few fights. He's been diligent in the gym about expanding his offensive game. His rear uppercut was a weapon for him over the last couple of fights. His body work has been effective. I'd like to see a little bit more of that as we enter this stage. This guy's got nothing for him. This guy can't hurt him. This guy can't beat him. The only question is, can Amari Jones do something spectacular with his next 2 rounds?
Gomez is a sneaky fighter, man. Sneaky fighter, hard to knock out. He throws these weird shots. Sometimes you gotta be sharp with him. Yes, you could take some chances now with your Jones, but don't get carried away trying to look for the knockout, trying to impress your fans either. Right there, Jones should have taken advantage of the off balance of the heavier feet of Gomez. Anytime a hard puncher, a heavy-handed puncher misses, they're going to fall off balance. You know, they're accustomed to hitting something always. Take advantage anytime you have a fighter with heavy hands. Sugar Ray Leonard, killer instinct. Oscar De La Hoya, killer instinct. You know, they did it when they had their opponents pummeled and ready to quit, ready to, you know, be taken out of there. I think Omari Jones is comfortable with cruise control now. I don't think he's going to try to get the stoppage or try to take any more chances. He knows he's in there with a tough Mexican.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 8 rounds of action here at the Green Royale Orlando, we go to the judges' score totals. All 3 judges scored this bout identically, 80-72. For your winner, he's still undefeated, Omari Jones.
For all the examples we've seen, him suing Showtime for $300 million, him foreclosing on multiple properties, him losing on investments on multiple properties, him buying a lot of depreciating assets, and him all of a sudden looking to box very much in the year 2026. Floyd losing money Mayweather, as the chatter says, is in dire straits financially. Now, again, is he got more money than me? Yeah, but he also spends a lot more money than me, which is why I thought him coming back to fight Manny Pacquiao, I mean, it made dollars, so sure, it makes sense. But for him,
I ain't player.
I want to fight.
Damn.
Floyd was built to be the villain. Floyd was built with his opponents that we put in front of him, you know, from Miguel Cotto to, you know, to everybody. He was the villain. And in a movie, you need the hero and the villain. And Floyd was the perfect villain.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people love to hate him. And guess what? He made a whole career about it, and he's one of the greatest.
Nobody wants to lose.
It certainly helped a lot. But, you know, the zero doesn't define you. How many games did the Philadelphia Eagles lose last year?
Right.
How many? I don't know. What was it, 4 or 5?
Yeah.
I can't even remember.
Right.
Okay? This isn't, you know, boxing should not have been. Floyd ruined this sport. Floyd Mayweather ruined this sport. I don't mean that personally.
No,
I love him personally, and I love his accomplice, and he was great to me. He was great to Showtime, and I'm friends with him to this day, and I admire and respect him. But he ruined the sport because the only thing that mattered was the zero.
Yes.
Okay, and so what did that do to all of these other fighters?
Everyone else worried about
It's a zero.
But we do that too, though. Because if a guy loses a fight, we throw him to the wayside now, Jim.
Well, it's not the NCAA tournament. It shouldn't be that.
I know.
Look at when Duran and Hagler and Hearns and Leonard and all these guys fighting each other all the time.
But we didn't criticize them when they lost. When Sugar Ray lost to Duran, we didn't criticize it. When Hearns lost to Leonard, we didn't criticize it. When Hagler lost, we didn't criticize it. These guys lose now. If Shakur Stevenson lose now, we're going to criticize them. If Tank Davis
why are you doing that?
because I've been following the fight. Right. I'm old enough to remember the 80s when they had the 4 horsemen and they fought. The best fought the best.
Yeah.
It wasn't no ducking and dodging. In the 70s, the heavyweight, Norton fought. Foreman fought.
We didn't get mad at Frazier when Foreman beat him.
3 times.
Right.
Foreman fought Ali 3 times.
No, Frazier fought Ali 3 times. Foreman and Frazier fought once.
That was enough.
Yes. Yeah, he damn near went through the road. That was it.
Mayweather may have just scammed Netflix and Pacquiao. It turns out Floyd Mayweather not only signed for a professionally sanctioned fight versus Pacquiao, he also already took the payment, and now he's backpedaling on the terms. So yeah, MP Promotion CEO Jazz Mather exposed Mayweather after Floyd said his upcoming fight versus Pacquiao is not a real fight, basically suggesting that his 50-0 won't be at risk. MP Promotions revealed that Floyd not only signed a professionally sanctioned fight versus Pacquiao and Netflix, he also already took an advance payment for his purse. That being said, everything that Mayweather told the press lately continues to contradict what he allegedly signed on paper with Pacquiao and Netflix. And now he's been given an ultimatum to rectify and retract his statements, or legal actions will be taken, and this whole thing ain't gonna be cheap and could further cost Floyd more money.
The hype train derailed the second Floyd grabbed a microphone at an MGM Grand meet and greet. Without warning, he casually told reporters that the bout was nothing more than an exhibition to entertain the fans, claiming the location wasn't even locked in. This sudden twist sent shockwaves through the combat sports world, sparking massive outrage. Suddenly, the narrative shifted from a legendary rematch to a suspected heist, prompting sports commentators like Shannon Sharp to absolutely go off, tearing apart Mayweather's real motives and exposing a situation that is spiraling into a legal disaster.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. claimed Saturday that the potential rematch with Manny Pacquiao would only be an exhibition. Jasper Tour, CEO's manager, CEO of Manny Pacquiao Promotion, and the event producer fired back, strongly opposing, saying Floyd is in breach of the contract. Floyd signed not one, not two, but 3 different agreements on 3 different dates, 2 different parties that ultimately got intertwined in a month of January, and this is all related to his return to professional boxing. First one, October 24th, the second one, November the 6th, the third one, December 14th. He received money for all 3 agreements when he signed them. Not only that, but he has taken out an advance on his purse to fight Pacquiao.
Got your ass.
Hold on, Ojo, hold on. Manny Pacquiao said he does not want to put the record, if he's scared not to put the record on the line, professional boxing match, not only should they have never executed these agreements, this is what Pacquiao manager said. If he's scared of Manny and does not want to put the record on the line in a professional boxing match, not only should he have never executed these agreements, but he should have just come right out and said because Manny ain't.
Behind the scenes, the truth about the paperwork paints a very different picture. Pacquiao's camp, led by Manny Pacquiao Promotions CEO Jas Mathur, wasted no time firing back and completely dismantling Floyd's new narrative. They laid all the cards on the table, confirming that Mayweather didn't just sign 1, but 3 separate agreements between October and December. Every single one of those contracts explicitly stated this would be a professional bout. There was absolutely zero mention of headgear, shortened rounds, or exhibition rules.
The main event bout of the boxing program will be a boxing match between Manny Pacquiao and Mayweather. The match will be a professional and sanctioned match and shall count on the official professional records of Mayweather and Pacquiao, and the final rules for which shall be subject to the mutual agreement of Pacquiao and Mayweather and subject to further approval of Netflix.
Okay, so I don't hear exhibition nowhere near in that statement.
The word professional is in this contract 11 times.
Oh, wow.
Another part, and which will be a professional and sanctioned boxing match and shall count on the official professional records of Mayweather and Pacquiao.
Yeah, I don't get exhibition from that.
Listen, here's the thing, right? If anybody wants to talk, right, back it up. Because you can back it up. So Floyd wants to come out and start being an actor. I mean, he should go audition for a movie instead. Okay? Simple. I rest my case.
But here's where the story takes a dark turn. Insiders revealed that Floyd allegedly secured massive cash advances on his fight purse under the strict guise of a legitimate contest. Taking the bag and then attempting to alter the fundamental rules of the fight is a dangerous game. By trying to switch the terms to protect.
That's honestly probably the reason why he came out and said it's an exhibition now after he already took the money.
His spotless record after cashing the checks. Pacquiao's team officially declared Mayweather in breach of contract.
Is there like a deadline for Mayweather to formally commit to the professional terms? Because I know by signing it, and it sounds like everything's agreed, but is there, I guess, somewhat of a timeline by any chance, or is it fully?
No, right now he's in the breach. He's in a breach. He has to provide, some form of acknowledgement that he is going to cure this breach by tomorrow, end of business day. And if there's no acknowledgement that he intends on curing these multiple breaches, I'm not just saying one. I mean, listen, one of the breaches in there is his Greece fight that he's posting, his exhibition against the Greece fighter, the Greek fighter. Like, he can't do that. He can't do that fight. It's a direct breach of this contract. So he has to provide a notice that he's willing to cure. His team has to provide that. And if they don't, then it's next steps. So we're not at a liberty to disclose every single thing that's going on or the nitty gritty of the contracts or the details. But I mean, you're not dealing with a mom and pop operation here, right? I mean, look at who's behind the event. So obviously you can be sure that these contracts are buttoned up.
The internet caught fire when Shannon Sharp and Chad Johnson unpacked the chaos on their hit show Nightcap.
Hey, I mean, it's unfortunate that it's come to what it's come to. Obviously, when we first heard about him having a 3-fight deal, we understood why he's having a 3-fight deal. I gave my name to people that he could have fought, that could have helped him if he was in financial crisis and needed to recoup some of that money back. And Manny Pacquiao was one of the names. It's crazy that it's even got to this point. I don't even know what to think about it at this point. Obviously, signing multiple deals and getting in advance and having them pay you ahead of the fight. I mean, like, is that normal? Does that happen?
I mean, you can.
No.
Hey, yeah. Ocho, I've known players that they burn through their money. They take out an advance on next year's salary.
No.
Yeah.
Hold on. Bring that. Hold on. Time out. Time.
Sharp held nothing back, launching into a viral takedown of the undefeated champion. He stripped away the PR spin and got straight to the core of the issue: fear. Unsee boldly stated that Mayweather is terrified of stepping into the ring for a real fight against an opponent who still poses a genuine threat. While Floyd has spent the last few years dancing around the ring with internet personalities and retired legends, Pacquiao has remained active, sharp, and hungry against legitimate professional competition.
What is the most difficult part of your training for a fight?
During training, all things is difficult. When you push extra mile, like the way you run, the way you hard work at the gym, everything is hard when you give more extra